Hello, everyone. Are we here? I think I'm here. I'm not sure. Let me see if I can find myself. Is anybody out there? Hello, hello. Surprise. It's Christmas. Well, it's Christmas Eve. Let me see. Can I find myself on YouTube? Ah, there I am. Let me see. Let me pop out the chat. Pop out chat. Hello, I see Heather. Is that Heaven's Fire? Your name is Heather, right? I think. Hi, Evelyn. Hi, Rebecca. How are you all? Merry Christmas. It's good to see you all. Let me see. I should probably put chat up in here so I can actually see. What's an overlay? Oh, no, I don't want to do that because that just makes the picture smaller. Hello, everybody. Let me see. What can I do here? Okay. Now if I can remember how to do a invite guests. Copy. Paste. Mm, what the heck? Ah, that's how you do it. Isn't that special? Okay. If anybody wants to pop in, the link is up there. I'm going to move the chat from YouTube over here so I can see. Live chat. Okay. Pin message. Okay. Now I can close the chat on that one. Oh, now my chat disappeared. Oh, there it is. I'm just learning this stuff. Hello, Scotty. How are ya? Ah, you were ready for bed, huh? Well, I hate to keep you up. If anybody wants to come up, we can chit chat or we can sing or whatever. Oh, geez. 3 a.m. That was me yesterday. And I ended up staying up until after 2 because I'm stupid sometimes. I got into a live with Trey at our Louisiana Life and Texas Raider and a bunch of other folks in the chat, and I stayed up way too late. I really shouldn't stay up that late. And the day before, I didn't get a heck of a lot of sleep either. It's been kind of a crazy week. But I figured everybody else was leaving their lives and going off to do whatever else they had to do. And oh, that happens to me all the time, Scotty. It's hello, Teresa. How are you? Good to see you. Hello, everyone. I'm in a mood to talk to people because it's Christmas Eve. I love Christmas. It's one of my favorite days of the year. It's so good to see you all. I wish you all could come up and we can sit around and actually chat. Scotty, I don't blame you for being tired. And if you really wanted to pop off and go to bed and try to get some sleep, that would be fine. I don't want to keep you up longer than you want to be. And say hello to and Merry Christmas to Karen. Ah, oh, you know what? Um, open. Um, music. Aha! So does anybody want to come up and sing with me? Hello, Debbie Drock. How are you? Merry Christmas. Hello, Chris. How are you? Merry Christmas. Happy Hanukkah. Ah, he's here. Ah, that's great. I'm glad you're going to go be visiting family. 15 people. Wow. You have a good night, Chris. Oh my God. My brain is fried already. Scotty, and I hope you can get some sleep so you can make your salad tomorrow. Have a very Merry Christmas. God bless you. I'm doing very well. Would you like to come up? I put the link up in there and I pinned it to the top. So anybody is welcome to pop up anytime they want to. I have to remember how the heck to keep track of where they pop up. I think they show up on the left side when they come up in the basement. Um, oh, I'm telling you, that was driving me absolutely crazy, Heather. I could not figure it out. It was just after the guys closed down their live. My son and I were trying to. I was trying to figure out what it was, and I kept going and making another live just to see if I could get the stupid thing working, and I finally got it working. Uh, I wish I had my mom's deviled egg recipe. Trust me, her deviled eggs were excellent. Whoa, $6 a dozen? Oh, good. I know my mom used to make really good deviled eggs. They disappeared in a hurry anytime she brought them to anybody's house for a party or whatever. Holidays, they disappeared really quick. Me, I'm from Massachusetts, up here in the cold, frigid Northeast. They're over $4. They're I think it's 8.20 something or something like that for a dozen and a half. Yeah, actually, double eggs are really simple. I think I don't know, the only thing I can remember her putting in it was salt and pepper and paprika. I don't remember. I don't think she put any onion or anything like that in it, and just mixed up the yolks with mayonnaise and salt, pepper, and paprika, and then filled the egg halves, the whites with the yolk, after she mixed it up and then sprinkled a little paprika on top. Oh, gotta be, gotta be, not Miracle Whip. Hellman's mayonnaise. Yep, that's pretty much. Oh, that's right. A little bit. She used to put a little mustard powder. You can use regular yellow mustard, but I think she used to use mustard powder. Check my basement. Uh oh. Okay, how come I can't see it? Where are you? I don't see you. You're in my basement? What the hey? Just. mm, Okay, why can't I see you? I can't see the basement at all. Oh, wait a minute. There it is. There you are. How
Good evening, Miss Lori.
good.
Many blessings to you. I
Same to
couldn't I
you.
couldn't let you be just go at it alone.
Ah, that's good. That's good. You gonna sing with me too?
Do you want to lose a bunch of subscribers? I think Heaven's Fire would be a better singer.
Well, if anybody else wants to come up, come on up.
Or Miss Evelyn. I mean,
No, let
And
me
then there's
see.
Brother
Now I need
Joe.
to. Okay, now I got my chat back up. Uh,
Are you staying warm tonight, Miss Lori?
oh, it's much warmer tonight than it was the past 2 nights. It's in the 20s tonight. Last I saw it was 27 and it's going up.
Put
So
another
that
log on the
made me
fire.
happy. This morning we had overnight last night. It snowed. We got about 3/4 of an inch, and it got up to 34 degrees or something this afternoon, and the snow stayed, and it's still white out there, so it's going to be a white Christmas. I'm happy about that. I haven't seen a white Christmas in years.
Neither have I, and that's why I moved back to North Oklahoma because I figured that's but I may have jinxed it when I moved because you know if you look
You
in the
haven't seen one
Webster's
since.
dictionary under Chris, it'll say see for Murphy's Law, it'll say see Chris.
No, we call it Tebow's Law.
Oh,
Mm-hmm. Yep.
and Heather,
If
don't
it's gonna,
worry, I'm a medic, so you can if you start bleeding with you singing, I can handle it. I've got all the equipment, so no problem. So
good.
come on, Heather.
Come on, chickens. What's the matter with you, folks? We need some harmony up here. Either that or we need a lead singer because I'm usually the harmony. I don't do singing. Hi, Joe. I didn't even see you pop in. I am really slacking. I'm really bad at this, keeping track of the chat and everything. I know what I need to do. I need to make that chat a little bit bigger.
Oh Lord, no. Oh, the chat
Mm,
bigger. Okay. You had
The
me scared
chat.
there for a minute
The chat. I need to, because
because
the
if you were going to make me bigger, I was going to go think.
chicken. Let's see
No,
what happens when I do that. Oh, see, my little logo thing goes up.
I'm working
Okay.
on it. I'm working on it. I thought I had said it. Well, no, that's right. I said it for another channel.
StreamYard.
Let me find it.
Yeah, it doesn't keep it. It doesn't keep it when you, unless you're doing the actual live yourself. You can get that to stay as a choice, but anyway. Are you still you were still working on the blanket, Rebecca?
Now let's see. Yeah, there we go.
Ah, there you go. Texas Raiders.
Well, see, that's that. There's this. The reason why my channel name is Texas Raiders 1122 is because that plane right there is a B
Yep.
17 G model, and it was with it was there in Dallas on November 12th, 2022. It was involved in a plane crash. Well,
Ah,
November 13th of 2022, I was supposed to be on that same plane flying it. So guess who was looking out for me? The man up
yeah.
there. So because I'm a big World War II buff, because if you see behind me all these boxes,
Model
they're all,
airplanes.
they're all model airplanes, and I mean I'm surrounded by modeling things. There's stuff up here above me, right in front of me, behind me, off to the side of me. It's and the ham radio stuff's over there. But so yeah. But that's the
Yeah.
story, and so that's the reason why when I went on there and I said Texas Raider, they said, "Oh no, somebody's already got that." So I had to go Texas. I said, "Well, Texas Raider," and I'll remember the month and the year because I'm so young, and if I ever forget, I can go, "Oh, it's November 2022." So that's the short
Yeah.
story.
That's a good thing to remember.
Well, I was born. I should have been born in the World War II era because I love the planes. I always loved to fly. And so the planes nowadays, I mean, I just, it's like when I flew from uh, Dallas Fort Worth Airport to Oahu or Hawaii, Honolulu, Hawaii, and you're watching the plane, how fast it's going. It's like 600 miles an hour. You're like, I'm glad I
Yeah.
can't see out because it's dark.
Yeah. Talk to people all around the world. Yeah. That's one thing I really like about YouTube.
Oh, speaking
Um,
of tripod, Heather, I did order it off Amazon, the exact same one that you sent me a picture of. So I've got it ordered to be here Saturday, and I'll be glad because trying to do videos and holding the phone or whatever, yeah. So thank you for that.
cool.
So teach me some more YouTube stuff, Miss Lori. Since,
Like what?
since you're the pro,
No, I'm not.
hey,
Trust me.
compared to me, yes, ma'am, you are. You I have yet to do a live and all that. So,
Yeah.
and I'm trying to decide if I want to do, if I'm going to do lives, if I should do it on StreamYard or if I should go on Restream. I hear
Yeah.
Restream, I think, is cheaper. I think.
I I have the free version of Restream, and you can invite 6 guests up.
Oh, well,
So It's not bad, and I'm getting used to it now, and I'm starting to figure out how things work, and I kind of like it.
Well, I text our Louisiana Life and let him know that you were live, and I said, "Come join us." I know he's at work, but he's been a help. He's been really a big help,
Yes, he has.
and all that. And so, oh, speaking of
Look,
that,
we have somebody else to come up.
well, before you do, Miss Lori, I forgot to do this.
You need to mirror yourself there.
I need to. I need to.
Uh,
What I need to do is see if you on your about page if your address is there, and I need to send that to you and you put it in a frame and send it to you so you can have a original Texas Raider, artwork.
Artwork, yeah.
That'll buy you a cup of coffee.
Okay, here comes Heather.
I am
We
so
have it
proud of you.
here.
I am very proud of you, Heather.
Yay!
Hi. So
Okay,
great
let's
to
see if
see
we
you.
can.
Hello.
How are you?
I am very proud, and I'm serious. I'm sincere. I'm very proud of you.
I am
Yep.
trying to chat box in a separate thing that I see, and I'm
Uh-oh.
She's gone dark. Oh, now she's in the light. I've seen the light.
She's on the move.
She's probably going to go find Tilly and Boots, and oh my God, I forgot
right.
the other one's name. I'm sorry.
do what?
Let's see. There's Tilly. There's her cats. There's Tilly. There's Boots, and one more, and I can't remember that one.
I don't know.
I didn't catch the first half of your question.
Oh, well, I was sitting there when Miss Lori said you were on the move, and I said, well, she's probably going to go in there and chill out with Boots and Tilly, and then I went blank and forgot the third one's name.
Mocha.
Okay. Sorry. My apologies.
Uh-oh.
Boots and Tilly and Mocha.
I'm not sure. My internet is having issues.
Yeah, it seems like you're cutting a little. You're getting a little glitchy.
Because everybody's
I'm working on that.
probably on internet, and saying hello to Grandma and Grandpa and whomever family, or
Yeah, that's true.
that or Trey's lurking in the bouts and he's doing something with the those drones or something. Knowing Trey, I keep waiting to see if he pops up and goes, "Ha!"
I'm gonna see if I can switch over to my
I don't see him.
internet.
Okay, I need to put my chat back up so I can see if anybody else is popping in to say hello or to see what people are
Well,
people are
Miss
talking
Teresa
about.
is sitting there posting everybody's links, so thank you for that, Miss Teresa.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes. That's she's a good mod. Uh-oh, we lost Heather.
Well, no, she's changing over. I heard her say that she's going to jump off her phone and go onto her computer or something.
Okay. That makes sense.
So.
All right. Maybe I should put the chat over my face, and that way there I can keep an eye on
put it over me, so you don't lose subscribers. Because I'm sorry, I took the day off. I didn't, I got the 5 o'clock shadow. I'm wearing one of my nice shirts,
Hey, my hubby has lots of those.
Well, this is one of my comfy shirts, so
That's yep. Are you ready, Heather?
There she is. Uh-oh. I have to read lips. We can't hear you.
I don't know. She's in She's in stop and go mode.
Am I still?
Yeah, there you are.
We can sort of hear you when
I
you.
don't know. I'm gonna try to
No,
go on my hotspot
can-
on my phone. If it doesn't work, then I can figure it out later. But am I there? Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're there.
You're there. We see you. We can
Okay.
sort of hear you.
I can hear you.
It seems to be working.
Okay.
Gosh, I look like I'm sitting right over the camera. I mean, let me back up a little bit here. Jeez.
I don't
the
know
neighbor.
if I should switch it to this or is that better?
Well, Merry Christmas Eve, Miss Heather and Miss Lori and everyone in chat. And Happy Hanukkah.
Thank you.
Which for those
Yes.
that don't know, if I can get it there. Yes, oh, sorry, Miss Lori. There you go.
Aha.
Oh, wow.
See, I lived in
So you-
Israel. I lived in Israel when I was a firefighter. But then afterwards, I transferred over and became a police officer. So I retired being a police officer, not a firefighter.
Okay.
Because you know how everybody loves firemen.
Yes.
But the guys that are cops, they kind of go, yeah.
Sometimes they like them, sometimes they don't. I know, I've been there.
Man. So do you still have snow, Miss Heather?
Yes.
Okay.
Where are you at, Heather?
I'm in Minnesota.
Ah, oh
Let's
God.
see if I can turn this light down a little bit.
Well, I heard that Miss Evelyn was really wanting some snow down in New Mexico.
I don't know if you can. I've got a shadow or a glare in the window. Let's see if I can turn that off. If that make it better.
Oh yeah, that's beautiful. Look at that. And look at the lights.
Yeah.
Look at the lights. Oh, the Christmas lights.
Oh, that's nice. Very nice.
Yeah, if I can get by the cat's shelves, but yeah, we still have snow.
You just need a nice warm fireplace, wood fireplace, and a cup of either hot apple cider or hot cocoa, and just sit there and I could stare at that window for hours.
Yeah. Behind me, I have a window,
Come here, buddy.
a glass glider door
Come here, buddy.
behind me, but there's no light out there, so can't see anything at night except the lights of the cars going back and forth on the road across the pond. I wish there was a light out there. We were supposed to put one out there, but we haven't put it out there yet.
Well, let's see.
And there's Boots.
Hey, Boots. That's what my backyard looks like. I don't know if you can see. Let me try to cover it with the glare. I don't know. Yeah.
I can see a little bit. I can see
That
lights.
That's the alleyway and all that. So there's no snow, and there's the yard. That's the backyard.
Ah.
And let's see. There's the front yard. You can see that one better. It's right off my front porch, out my front door.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I see.
See if I can do it this way. Yeah, don't push the button. I push the button. There we go. Me and my big fingers.
If I go this way, maybe I
There
can
you go.
bypass a little bit of the glare, but
Oh yeah.
But look at I don't have neighbors that've got pretty lights like
Look
you.
at
Miss Heather.
that.
Isn't that beautiful?
That is nice.
I live smack dab in the middle of town, so
Well, hopefully, Miss Heather, you don't have to go to work anytime soon, and you're off for a day or 2 or 3.
Nope, I have to go to work tomorrow before I go to my grandpa's, and then when I'm done at grandpa's, then I'll go back to work.
Oh, wow.
I won't get paid for tomorrow, but I work 7 days a week.
Hey,
So
how much snow did you get?
yeah. I'd say we probably have 7 or 8 inches, maybe.
Snowball fight.
Yeah,
Just not in the face. Not in the face.
It's supposed to be above
depends.
freezing this weekend, so
It kind of depends
it'll
on,
probably be sticky.
yeah, if it's warm, if it warms up to in the low 30s, that's perfect snowball weather.
Not so much for shoveling because it gets super heavy.
Heavy, yeah. Absolutely.
Miss Evelyn, what I said is when you stepped away is that Miss Evelyn should join us on this live chat because the fact that we could always use a great person such as you, and I mean that with all sincerity and heartfelt. I mean, we've got Miss Heather, we got Miss Lori. I'm in good company. We just need Miss Evelyn, and I'll be in great company.
Absolutely. Weren't you saying that you were going to pop up on somebody's live sometime this week, Evelyn? I do remember hearing that somewhere. Yeah, Joe, I don't blame you. It's we have about an inch, and that's plenty for me. It gives me a nice white Christmas, and I'm happy with that. And then it can go away tomorrow, the next day, and I'll be happy.
I used to say
Not
that.
come
I was
back.
like, we need to get snow like a week before Christmas and then like a week after Christmas, and then it can be gone for the rest of the year. But it never
Exactly.
seems to work out that way.
No, we never get it for Christmas. We haven't had a white Christmas here in, I don't know, probably 5 or 6 years at least. It seems like it always comes a week ahead, and then it starts to warm up and it all melts before Christmas gets here. And then we get
Last year
some for
we had
New
a
Year's.
Last year we had a brown Christmas, and that's the first one that I remember having my entire life. We've always had snow for Christmas.
Well, yeah, you're up there in Minnesota. Minnesota. You got lots of snow up there.
Boots.
Come on, Boots, say hello.
He just crawled
Boxes.
into my box.
They love boxes. That's their favorite toys.
I looked over and his tail was sticking out of the box.
I remember that. We used to have 2 cats, and at Christmas time, they were in heaven because there were boxes everywhere, and they were jumping in and out of them and chasing each other. Oh my God.
And don't forget the Christmas tree ornaments.
Oh, they used to climb the tree.
I actually don't have my tree up just because of that reason.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see if I can grab my phone. Soraya decorated my grandpa's tree, though.
Because I've seen people with, dogs and cats, and they've actually had to put a big old gate around their Christmas tree just to prevent, but yet, people, they jump still and,
They still jump over, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Oh, so pretty.
She did a great job.
Decorated, but she's not at home. She did a really good job, and she didn't want my help, so yeah.
I haven't had a Christmas tree up in probably 10 years or more. I really miss it. I love having a Christmas tree, but
I always did the live ones but before COVID, when I could smell, because now I can't smell. So I mean, I love the smell of the real Christmas trees.
Yeah, yeah, me too. That's one thing I really miss
You've just got
is
pine
having
needles
the
all
real
over when it
tree.
starts to dry out.
Yeah, we have pine trees in the backyard. I could go cut some branches off of it, but it's funny. I was thinking about when I was a kid, we used to make wreaths and we'd go out into the woods behind my grandfather's house and we'd pick princess pine. I don't know if you guys are familiar with it. Those little tiny, it's some kind of a moss that looks like a little miniature Christmas tree. And we used to pick those and make wreaths out of them. And my dad used to, oh, somebody's in the basement.
Yes, brother. I'm not going to say it. I'll be polite.
Ah, oh,
There he is,
Hello.
oh,
the man, the myth, the legend himself.
how are you?
I'm doing
Oh,
okay.
do I not have names on? For some reason, I'm not seeing people's names. Hmm.
You have no idea who I am either, huh?
I do.
I
I
do.
do.
It says your name right there, Joe Jacobson.
Well, okay.
It's the Reverend. It's the
The
Reverend.
Reverend Joe Jacobson.
Well, I could go one
Uh,
step further and go Sir Reverend Joe Jacobson because I was knighted by the White Rock Nation because I've been a
ah.
member there before.
Mm,
Nope.
okay, what the heck?
Well, I was a Boy Scout and I've got Order of the Arrow. Does that count?
Well,
Order of
I'm
No
a
idea what that
former
is.
Boy Scout, first class, former Weeblo. I've got the Order of the Arrow. I've
Yep.
also gotten some Cub Scout awards beyond that. And
Well, I didn't do Cub Scouts. I did Weeblos and I did Boy Scouts and I got to Life Scout. I didn't make Eagle. We
okay.
moved. So
All right, I have no idea any of the Boy Scout stuff, but I was a Girl Scout from the time that I was a daisy, which was kindergarten all the way up through high school. And my mom sent me to Europe with Girl Scouts. So I went to
wow.
London. I went to London and Paris on a Girl Scout trip, and then I got to interact
Oh,
with Girl Scouts
wow.
internationally.
Well, I've
Okay.
eaten in the
That must
Eiffel
have been
Tower
great.
Cafe or restaurant.
Nice. I had my camera stolen from underneath the Eiffel Tower.
Oh,
Oh, no. Oh, that stinks. Uh,
I've
That
heard
was
I've
Big
never
in
been
Ben.
outside the U.S. anywhere.
2002, I think.
Well,
trying to figure out.
when I was a fireman in Israel, and then I had an Israeli girlfriend, and so we would travel. So we went to Paris where I got to meet her brother, who's a doctor, and all that, and then I went on to go to London, and I should have, and I one of those things I wish I would have done it was right on the Concorde, but instead I went business class on a Delta airline because I knew it was going to be a long flight. So, but I never rode on the Concorde. I would have liked to have, but
Yeah.
or Air France.
I would.
I think we rode on the Aerostar, which is it's like the under the ocean tunnel that goes from London to Paris.
Oh, yeah.
Cool.
Okay.
So what
I
is your
can't figure
daughter
out how to
want
put
for
people's
Christmas,
names on.
Heather?
I can't find the.
You're gonna have to send me a list.
A list of what?
You're gonna have to send me a list of what Sierra. Am I pronouncing it correctly?
Soraya. It's like
Soraya.
Mariah with an S. Or
Okay, so I think
psoriasis without the cis.
Well, I try to remember how you spelt it with Mariah, so it's Soraya.
SARIAH.
Okay, but you'll have to email me maybe a couple of things that she, I don't know, might want, and maybe it might show up on after Christmas, of course, and all that.
Are you awake or sleeping?
She was sleeping.
She's awake. She's on her phone.
She's like, "Don't be showing at me." I know. I'll send her a bunch of arrows.
She definitely likes archery, so.
Okay. I just don't know what her draw is.
Soraya, what's your draw in archery? Because somebody was asking. Did you hear her response?
I couldn't make it out. I heard something.
I couldn't make
She's like,
it.
I don't.
Yeah.
Why does it matter? I'm like, because somebody's asking.
Well, if I send her the ones I use, mine's a 28-inch draw, so that would be too long.
I don't know. I'd have to look at her stuff and see.
I'll figure something out then.
Oh, that's way too small.
Oh.
I'm trying to find a good way to
Oh Lord, no, go. Oh heavens. Whew.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, there went my blood pressure. Gosh, Miss Lori.
I'm sorry.
You know I'm just picking.
I still can't figure out why I'm not seeing people's names. I could have sworn I turned on to show people's names, but I can't figure it out.
When you went through the configurations with the different places with each of us, it did bring up the names
Yeah.
for a while. So it has to do something with the configuration, I guess. Is everyone
I'm
hearing me
up,
okay?
Unfortunately. Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I can't find it. I swore I had it selected one before I started, but for some reason I'm not seeing it now.
I got a response, Miss Lori, from our Trey from our Louisiana Life. He's changing out a valve in the plant. Won't be much longer, and hopefully he'll jump on if y'all are still going. Tell everybody he says, "Hey."
Hey. Oh well, I mean, we could probably still be around for a while.
Well, it's only 48. You've only been on 48 minutes.
Yeah, and it's
already?
only a little after 11, so.
Well, again,
it's a little after 11 for me, but it's probably earlier for you guys.
10:34.
I have 10:34. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm in Hawaii, so I'm way behind y'all.
Yeah, you wish.
Yeah. If I was, I'd be at Pearl Harbor. That's for sure. Man.
Okay. Let me see. Bring the chat up again. I don't see anybody else.
Well, see, I can see the chat. I see the chat over here past Miss Heather and Brother Joe. It's over there, and it's staying up with the chat on my phone.
I pulled
but
my
I have the
box that I have like on the side of my screen, so I can see that, and then the one that's on Restream is on this side.
Yeah, I have the YouTube. I have my live pulled up on YouTube just so I can get the chat from the live.
I'm on the computer, so I just
I have
I
that
pulled
laid
out a
over the top.
separate box. Evelyn says it's 9:35 her time.
9:35. Yeah,
And we're still waiting, Miss
that's
Evelyn. Come on. Join
that's
in.
really early. Where were you at, Evelyn? She's got to be mountain time, right?
That would be mountain time, yeah.
I'm waiting for her to say it. I'm not going to say it. I know, but I don't want to be disrespectful.
Boots,
I thought she'd be
out.
Eastern.
Boots, come over here. Just come to me, Boots. My
He's
dog,
not sure what he wants.
my dog is sitting there looking at me like, huh, no, don't you dare bring a cat in this house.
Nope.
Yeah.
Don't you be doing that.
Well, I've had her for 15 years. And, and she's, how can I say it? She's white
Set in her
face
ways.
now, and she's getting more whiter, and I'm getting more grayer. But at least I've got a head of hair still,
That's always a good thing.
I don't have as much as brother Joe does down there. I mean, you look at his hair, and it's like it's it's all styling.
Come here, buddy. Come here.
And I don't have that. Yeah, I can't get past the itchy age or stage of having a beard. I'd like, yeah.
Yeah.
The best thing I found to keep my beard good and soft is to wash it with the same shampoo I use on the hair up on top.
Yeah.
And what I use most often is the Pert with conditioner built in, 2-in-1.
Come here, buddy.
So it gets conditioned just the same as this hair up here does.
So it stays fluffy.
Fluffy.
Boots.
And then I use a regular hairbrush to brush it out.
Hi, Boots.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
kitty
what my
cat.
son does.
That's the Boots right there.
Kitty.
Hi there.
What a pretty kitty.
He's the gray one. I've got 2 brown ones and a gray one.
Boots,
He's
I think
cute.
you're getting bigger.
He's massive.
Oh my Lord, look at you, Boots. He's like, what are you doing to me?
Why are you doing this? You're embarrassing me.
I'm out. But Heather, I really, I don't know. There are those people who can come up to animals and they're like, stay away from me. But with you, Miss Heather, with Duchess, your rabbit, and with your cats and all that, the way you approach them, they're just like, oh, hey, hi. Oh yeah, that right there, that feels great. And they, and that's why it's like I'm I love seeing. Who says that animals can't tell good and bad of people? And
They sure can.
If my dog doesn't like somebody, then I'm not going to be around them. But with Heather, it's like all her animals just affectionately love on her. And
Tilly is like one of the most affectionate cats, but she does not like to be picked up. She does not like to be held. Doesn't like to feel like she's trapped. But as long as you don't have her trapped and you can pet her, she comes up and she snuggles and she's a purr box. So I guess each animal has their own personality.
Well, Boots is just Boots.
He's the crazy one. I've heard there's one in every litter that is just overly confident, overly curious, overly into everything all the time, and that's Boots.
Yep. They definitely all have their personalities and quirks.
I have a friend's place that I go to, and I'll lay down on the floor and do a computer game or something else, and they have a female cat that's been traumatized before by other males, but it'll come right up to me and walk across me and all that too, just like the male cat does. Been accused of falling asleep with the male cat on top of me.
Well, animals definitely are a good choice. I mean, good good source of people's character. That's for sure.
Oh yes.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Okay.
when I moved from Texas to Oklahoma, I was really wanting to get 2 acres at the minimum and 5 acres at the maximum. Well, it got down to where my house sold in Texas, and I had to find a place like now. So it was like this one came available, and it was like I gotta go because all of my stuff is in storage, and at the moving company storage, and I'm like living out of a suitcase, and it's like I didn't even have a place to sit down, so I had to get a recliner offline, off the marketplace, and that's what I sat in and all that. And so finally I got this house. And so when I moved, it was like at least it's livable. I still got to do things, and and all this. I mean, it'll take time, but hey, being retired, I have that time.
Retirement is nice.
Well, I think that
I have to
the
say.
age of retirement should be lower, because if you retire, say it's, for an example, 70, what's your life expectancy going to be from 70 to that time, whenever the good
Yeah.
Lord calls your name?
Yep.
And if it could be 1 year, it could be 20 years, but I mean, I retired when I was 60, and so I've been retired for 2 years, and I'm like, now I'm sitting there going like, well, once I hit 65, I can officially become a senior citizen. But what's funnier is that at 50, I was sitting there getting all those mailings from AARP.
Oh God.
I
I've
said,
been getting those since I was in my 40s.
I wasn't going to join AARP.
Nope. I ain't giving my money to them folks.
So
Yeah. A little too liberal for me.
So is anybody's ears bleeding? I'm asking for a friend. I'm looking over here.
You mean up
that
way?
That way. Or you would be up, Brother Joe.
That's
see, Heather. I mean, I can't say it enough. I'm proud of you, because not only are you doing great things for yourself, but you're encouraging a crazy old man like me to get a tripod and start putting in. Once I get the tripod, I'll start doing lives and figuring all that and da 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 da. So there you go.
If you think about it, though, I'm actually brand new to YouTube as well. I didn't start posting on my channel until the end of July.
But you've posted a bunch of lives, and like I've bragged about you, and when you were doing the mining videos and showing the countryside, I was sitting there going like, never been to Minnesota. I didn't know it was that beautiful.
Actually, I think they call the open mine pit what is it called? The Grand Canyon or something, or Minnesota. It's the biggest open mine pit, I think, in the world, or at one point it was.
And then when you went up by the machinery and you're like standing, and here's this tire that's, oh, it's up there,
Yeah.
I can't imagine how much those things cost. That was got to be astronomical.
When I was in high school, I graduated high school in Aurora, so it was, I would say, almost an hour away from here. And they would blast in the mines when we were in school, and the windows of the whole building would just shake.
Wow.
It's people, I guess, relate to it as being like a an earthquake, but it's I guess they've changed the way that they've done it now, but it like creates structure issues for people's houses up here because they're blasted so much.
Do you
Yeah,
know why they like to do
that's
that
not
while
good.
you're in school?
Huh?
Do you know why they like to do the blasting while the kids are at school?
Probably because they're not outside running around.
Right, because they're pretty well accounted for where they're at school.
Yeah, that's true.
Especially kids like me, because I'd be like, oh, that's cool. I want to go see it.
Yeah, exactly.
I'd be over there like, hey, can I do something?
I think they normally blast on Wednesdays and Fridays, or some Fridays. But on Wednesdays, when they blast, they actually shut down the highway. So they like have a truck sitting in front of all the cars lined up, and then they blast, and then once everything clears out, then they let the traffic through again.
Yeah, because if the ground is shaking while you're driving down the road, that's probably not a good thing.
I take it the highway's pretty close to the blasting pit.
Well, there used to be a highway that would cut through, and it would go up to Side Lake, and they actually took the end of the road out, and they put a roundabout in town. So they cut a section of the road off. So now the mined pit actually comes up pretty close to the road. So
Wow.
the air comes up the side of the mine pit and then up and over the road, which makes them really slippery in the wintertime. Boots, get down.
Mhm.
I'm not yelling, Soraya.
Hey, Soraya, wake up!
She can't hear you. You're in my ear.
Oh, sorry. If I'd have known that, I wouldn't have done it.
It's all good.
My apologies.
And
Yeah,
I
I
too
kind
am
of
wearing headphones.
I
Yeah,
got my
I'm
house
sorry,
kind
Brother
of.
Joe. Hey, I stood
I-
back and kind of did it. If I'd have got right up there, you would be like, oh, now I see why he was a cop, because he's got a loud mouth.
She's got a big mouth, yeah.
Not gonna go there.
Oh, come on. You can go there, Brother Joe. I've heard it all. Trust me. 44 years, I have heard it all.
I'm actually 90% deaf in my left ear, 40%, 45% left deaf in my right ear. So that's overall loss of almost 75% of my hearing.
Wow.
So
Now,
the headphones I'm wearing, I can hear mostly in the right ear, but hardly anything out of the left. But the people around me don't hear everything that's going on in the conversation I'm having.
are you a veteran? Was it because of that, or?
No, I
Okay.
couldn't get into the military because of that. I
Okay.
lost that part of my hearing back when I was in the time frame of going into kindergarten and through third grade. And I ended up with a hole in my eardrum, and they're not quite sure how I got it. I went
Ooh.
through 3 years of different surgeries trying to patch the hole. Now, if you take a standard straight pin that you do sewing with, where you're pinning the materials together, you take the head of that pin and you cut it up into 10,000 equal sized pieces. The hole in my eardrum is the size of one of those pieces.
Wow.
But the thing is, it affects my hearing to where if there's loud background noises, it sounds like I'm standing in a wind tunnel.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
The louder the surrounding noise, the more wind I hear. And it blurs what people say. So it's easier for me to be quieter and listen to people and then to get loud and me hear them. But I had an aunt who was going deaf, lived about a quarter mile down the road from where we did when I was out on the farm when we were raising rabbits when I was still in high school. And I'd hear her talking to her daughter. That would be my mom's cousin. And I could hear her talking to her from up in our yard because she talked that loud because she was that deaf. She thought she was having problems of hearing people because she'd be standing in her yard. I'd holler down at her, tell her hello from a distance, and she thought she was hearing voices.
Oh, jeez.
But she didn't realize it was actually voices because I was actually hollering at her. But she couldn't see anybody around to talk back to them.
Wow. So maybe it's some kind of a family thing that
It might
did
be.
she have maybe she had a hole in her eardrum too?
I had never heard about it. They're not sure what caused mine. There's a couple of possibilities.
Could have been an infection.
Well, they're saying it could have been from an ear infection. It could be that my dad might have slapped me upside the head and actually caught the hole of my ear with his slap because I wasn't responding to what he was saying. And that supposedly happened during one of my ear infections. It could be from one of the microsurgeries where they accidentally nicked it while trying to get the bones separated that had fused together during the ear infections. Because the three bones of the middle ear actually fused together, so they had to go in and surgically separate them.
Oh.
So we don't know if they might have actually pierced the eardrum at the time they were separating those bones, or just what it was. So.
Wow.
I know my mom has.
Go ahead.
Sorry. My mom's got hearing loss because she worked in the mines and she was working in the course crusher. So she would sit in like a little box and hit a button all day long and empty train cars into the crushers. So like the train would pull up and then it would start dumping rock into these big, well, they're crushers. They crush the rock into smaller pieces.
They crush up the rock. Yeah.
Yeah. So
big
it was super loud. So she's got.
So what are they mining for, Miss Heather?
Iron ore to make steel.
Oh, okay.
They make taconite pellets.
Yep.
And then they ship those by train. I think usually to Duluth, and then they get shipped out from there.
Yep. Edmund Fitzgerald.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yep. November. The winds of November remembered. I love that song. We used to sing that song. We used to do music. We used to do music with a whole bunch of our friends every Saturday night. And we'd sit around and play all kinds of folk music, country western, old Irish music, you name it. We'd play it and sing it. And that one of the guys in the group of friends we had used to sing that every once in a while. I have the words. In fact, I went looking for it recently. What are you looking for, Chris? You looking for the Edmund Fitzgerald?
Where is it at? Come on now. I know it's on here. I've got only 1 million songs on my phone.
1 million. That's a lot.
I'm very, how can I say, like Miss Heather, if, for an example, if I went down to see Brother Joe and visited with him and all that, and the song came up, I would go, when that song, when I later in the years I hear that song, I think, oh, that song. That's when I was down there seeing Brother Joe and visiting. I put music to places and memories.
Hmm.
That makes sense.
Ah,
Makes sense.
well, that's weird. I could have sworn I had copied the.
There you go, Miss Lori.
I thought that I copied the words into my music folder, but I can't find it.
That's just a 30-second short.
I can't hear it.
You can't hear it?
No.
It like comes and goes. I catch bits and pieces.
Oh. Well, anyway, that was the wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald.
Yep. I
Huh.
love that song.
I've actually never heard of it before.
I do know that the full
Oh,
version is on
really?
YouTube in a live, or not a live, but in a video.
It's a Gordon Lightfoot.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
get copyrights on my live streams too. I live streamed a Christmas parade and a band concert. So, yeah. But I haven't gotten any strikes. I just got the copyright thing on the bottom of my.
I just did a short, so it shouldn't. Hopefully, it shouldn't give her a restriction.
I don't know. I couldn't hear it, so
That doesn't stop
need to walk the
YouTube
girls.
doing things.
All right, Miss Evelyn.
What's really funny is anybody
I've got an
can
argument
post,
going on. Oh,
anybody can
Where'd it
post a song on YouTube, a song, and they don't get whacked. But if we use a song in a video, they'll hit you for a copyright. I can look up, and there's probably 20 different versions of the same, 20 different people that have posted the same song. But are they all paying for the copyright to be able to post it on YouTube? I don't know.
Don't know.
I know that they have copyright free music that you can play. Like in your
Yeah.
videos and stuff if you use it as a background, but a lot of people struggle with the volume, like they have it too loud that they like overtake their voices when they're trying to say something and then you can't hear what they're saying because they have music playing too loud.
Yeah.
But I think that's kind of anywhere.
Yeah, I
you
know
have
that's
to
one
be
thing that
able to
annoys me on some people's
balance that
videos.
vacuum. You have to balance the volume there between the background and the live feed into the video.
That's one thing I can't find on here either, is how to adjust the volume.
Now on my screen,
Can you hear him?
there's a microphone. There's a microphone indicator right below your banner.
Yep.
Oh,
All that
No,
does
that-
is
that-
turn off. Yeah, I don't have the speaker thing for the
Okay.
volume. The only thing is the microphone. And if I
Well-
push that, I'll just mute myself.
well, hopefully Trey will come on and maybe he can see. I have yet. Well, I'm not on Restream or StreamYard,
StreamYard.
but the banner that you have going on down the bottom, if I choose to go Restream or something, guess who I'm going to be calling and going, hey, Miss Lori, how'd you do that?
I just figured out how to do that tonight.
So
You
start
go
making,
into
get you a piece of a paper and pen and write down Texas Raider learning notes. This is how I did it.
I should probably put those down for my own notes so that I remember the next time.
I have to sit and play around with StreamYard. I haven't done a whole lot with it. So
I
This is free stream though, not StreamYard. So
oh, that's
it's
how
going
it
to be a
is.
little bit
It's
different.
yeah.
just a note. I just found it again. It's under the little quote mark. There's a little quote mark on the side. It's got the thing for design, captions, QR notes, music, and notes for your presentation or whatever. And under the quote mark, it's got captions, and if you open that up, it says ticker.
I don't see any of that.
And then
And
you
that's
hit
for
the
your
plus
Merry Christmas.
sign, and I can edit it. Let's see. Can you see the
And yes,
change?
Rebecca, I am up on panel.
So, Miss Lori, tell me, what is your favorite thing about Christmas?
The obvious, the birth of Jesus.
Well, I know, but I mean, what is one of the favorite things that you like to do in the time?
That I like.
Yeah,
I like to sing Christmas carols, but I haven't done that in a long, long time.
So, fa la 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 and jingle
I
bell, jingle
love
bell.
to. No, no. More like
Bing
well,
Crosby.
We three
like
kings,
Angels We
glory
Have
in
Heard
our.
on High and God Rest Ye Merry Gentlemen, Hark the Herald Angels Sing, Oh Holy Night, that kind of stuff. Silent Night.
I posted on my Facebook page. I can't recall exact word or the title, but it's a soldier's night, silent night or something, because me being a veteran and all that. And it's basically a person portraying to be Santa Claus. And he comes into this dark, empty home, and he finds a soldier sitting there, laying there, sleeping. And so it's very touching, very moving, and all that.
Oh, I thought you were going to talk about something else, but yeah, there's a it's not really a song per se. It's a recording that I can't even remember who put it out. I think it's an Irish folk singer, and it's the story of World War II on Christmas Eve, where both sides started walking out
Are you sure it's in
on
World
the
War II or
front
World
line.
War I? thought it was World War One. They did that
Oh, maybe it was World War One.
because
Yeah, it might have been World War One.
there was the Scottish who played the bagpipe, and
Yes.
and I'm not trying to be rude. I'm just saying the German soldier, I think he was an officer portrayed, comes up and he's singing, and then the Scottish guy comes up with the bagpipes, and the French are kind of, well, no, we're not going up there just yet, but everybody joins in, and for one night the war
Whole
stopped.
night. Yeah.
Everybody came together.
Yeah. Yeah. That one always gets me.
Yes, ma'am. I'm familiar with that one.
Yep. Yep. That was beautiful. Too bad that doesn't always work,
No,
unfortunately.
because nowadays, it's like well, I'm not going to say who, but let's just say one group of people are launching missiles to shoot over towards Tel Aviv, Israel, and they never see them because they're so many hundreds and thousands of miles away.
And vice versa, then they shoot back, and it's like they're long distance. They don't see the faces of the people they're shooting at.
Nope,
So, it's all there's no love between them.
no.
And yeah,
I mean,
that
I am hoping, and I'm not trying to get on I won't say, I'm hoping with the changes that is coming, that I'm hoping things can become more calmer, and I'll put it that way.
yeah,
I'm trying to
yeah,
speak without getting onto the soapbox or whatever and saying
I know.
anything because I don't want to offend any of your people or get you in trouble or anything like that. But everybody has their own views. I agree with that. Let them have their own views. But we're human beings, and it doesn't matter if you're a person with a beard, if you're a person with a cat's, or if you're a person that's Irish or whatever. We should all treat everybody with respect, with kindness.
Yeah,
There's going to be those people that you don't get along with. Okay, well, we're adults. Let's agree to disagree, and then let's move on.
move on.
You
Just
know,
you believe what you want to believe, and then I'll believe what I want to believe, and there shouldn't be any fighting over it.
I just noticed something, Miss Lori, that
Yeah.
if you take Brother Joe's beard and the way you're decked out in red and the hat and all that, we got Mr. and Mrs. Claus here, folks. Online. There you go. Mr. and
Yeah,
Mrs.
this
Claus.
is my fake
Where are
Santa
you
hat.
at?
It's my red bandana and a white neck warmer.
Well, there you
Well, ear
go.
warmer, I guess.
So there's your Christmas spirit between,
Mhm.
right there, folks.
And you're talking about my beard, and I know how to remove it quickly. You see, I do have the proper instrument for such.
Well, don't remove it right now, Santa.
No.
That's 3 times today I've been called Santa.
You're the
Yeah,
backup to the Santa. I know.
my son has a Santa. We have a Santa hat somewhere around the house. We couldn't find it. Of course, it's Christmas, so we couldn't find it. Next week I'll be able to find it. But
That's usually how it
anyway,
works.
yeah, it is. That's just the way it is. But he has a full beard, but his isn't white. It's still very dark brown. But he puts his Santa hat. When years ago when he was working, he used to work at Walmart. I think that's where he first got it. I think he wore it to work one Christmas, and everybody got a kick out of that because he's 6'4", weighs almost 300 pounds. He's a moose, and he didn't look like a little elf.
Well, as hairy as I am, I mean, I know you can't see it, but yeah,
Yeah, I can see
I'm
it.
hairy. And if I grow a beard, it's like,
I'm sorry.
it's like, and so I got the nickname Bear, and all that. And then my oldest daughter saw me one time and said, "Dad, you got hair on your back. You need to shave that." I said,
Yeah,
okay,
that ought to be
let me
fun.
just take a razor and okay.
Yeah. Okay. Tell you what, you shave that.
But see, I grew up in the era where if a man had hair on his a man had hair on his chest, he once he grew up and from his teens or whatever, if he had hair on his chest, he was a man.
Here's a man.
He was
Yeah.
a manly man.
You probably eat your bread crusts and your vegetables. That's what we were always told. Or like, I don't know, Grandma would always say if we ate our bread crusts and our vegetables that we'd have curly hair. And my hair is about as straight,
Straight
as
as
it
a
gets.
pin.
Well,
I have a little bit of curl, but I always keep mine braided because it's so long. It's
wow.
Yep, no.
To strengthen your hair,
but it does
make it
curl at
stay
the
longer.
ends a little bit.
What were
It's
you
got a
saying,
little
brother?
wave to it.
Go
Sorry,
ahead,
Heather.
Joe. What were you saying?
To keep the hair longer and make it stronger when you pull on it so it don't break off as easy, eat more gelatin.
Gelatin.
Eat more gelatin. Yeah,
It's
gelatin is
in
good
the
for your hair.
pudding. Oh wait, you're talking about
It has
Jello.
the same exact, it has the same exact proteins in it. That's what it takes
Same
to grow
same
hair
with
and nails.
fingernails. Yeah. Gelatin is good for your nails. That's why chicken soup is so good for you, because it's got a lot of gelatin in it.
Huh.
From the bones.
Oh, I just do Campbell's chicken noodle soup. I mean, you know.
Yeah, it probably doesn't have a heck of a lot.
Well, sometime or another, Miss Lori and Miss Heather and Evelyn and Rebecca and anybody else, I think we ought to have like a recipe night to share recipes, because
That's
here's one thing I learned, because in the summertime, I grew up in Fort Worth, Texas, and in the summertime, I would travel Amtrak trains and go north to Arkansas City, Kansas, to where my great grandfather lived and my grandfather lived. And I would stay with my great grandfather, and I learned how to use a stick welder. I learned how to do this, that. But the only thing I really wished, and granted, I was like 11, 12 years old, I really wished I would have paid more attention and wrote down or got the recipes from my grandfather, because he had a huge garden and he would do fried catfish, he would do fried okra. And it's like, it's not like this frozen store bought okra that you buy. He went out there in his okra plants and would take them off, and then he would cut them, and then he used cornmeal, and, and he never didn't do it by measurements. It was a little bit of dab of this, a little dab of that,
that's how my dad cooked.
And so, and it's like my father. He would, grill hamburgers. He was great on doing briquettes with charcoal, and would cook on there.
Mhm.
Lord have mercy. I cannot use the briquettes or charcoal, because I either burn it or I don't put enough. I wait too long until they get nice and white. And so I do propane, but still, I wished I would have taken the time to get recipes, because those recipes are, it's like, if you don't learn from your elders, who are you going to learn from? Your phone?
Yeah.
And
And then you find recipes that you think are supposed to be the same thing, and they don't taste
They're not.
anything at all what your parents used to make.
no,
Just
I mean,
eat
I
chicken
grew up
I
and
know.
with
that.
my mother at Christmas. She had one of those aluminum Christmas trees, and she
Oh
had
God, yeah, we had one of those with
and
the
had that
turning
wheel
light.
that had what, orange, blue, red, and green on it, and
Yeah.
it would sit there and turn, and it would change the colors. But
Oh, yes.
Aluminum. Okay,
That was,
I
yeah, it
remember
was,
the ceramic ones that had like the different bulbs that were in
yeah,
them, and then they have the light
yeah,
in them. But aluminum, like,
yeah.
it was aluminum. Yep.
and it was just like a
And you,
regular Christmas tree.
it was like a pole, and you put you'd stick the branches were all different lengths of
It's like
aluminum.
the artificial trees now.
Yeah.
But it was
And you'd
Uh-huh.
put them all
aluminum.
together, and then you had this light that had a wheel that went around like a fan, only it was really slow,
Oh,
and
the
it
color
had
wheel.
different colored film across it,
Okay,
and it would shine different colors on the tree when it would reflect off the tree.
interesting.
I mean, it was, it's like, when I see those trees, I flash back to those days, you know,
Yeah.
but we never had a real tree, so it was always that aluminum tree. It's
Oh,
but that was back in the late '60s or early '60s, '70s, I think the era was. So
yeah. I think it was early to mid '60s.
That's probably why
We
it's
only
before
had
my
that for a couple of years, and then we went back to getting the real tree. It was like, yeah, that was a fad for a while, but nothing like a real tree.
and at Christmas, my grandfather on my father's side of the family, because I pretty much hung out with my father's side of the family because they actually let kids be kids, and you could wear a t-shirt and blue jeans and you were good. Oh, what's he sneaking in?
Family picture.
Now go up a little bit, brother
Oh,
Joe.
yeah, pick
Whoa.
it up a little.
There you go. Whoa,
Oh
whoa,
my,
whoa, whoa, whoa.
yeah, well, that's a little too high.
the lettering is backwards. So
Yeah, he's mirrored, but that's all
Okay.
right.
It says family favorites. It's a recipe book that my great aunts put out as a
Wow,
request for
Oh,
one of our family reunions.
oh,
nice.
that's a good
nice.
idea.
Actually, my aunt gathered the recipes from my great aunts and their descendants and put them into a book. She got such
I
a good
wish I had one
response
of those.
making the one book that they requested a second edition.
Nice.
And it's got part of the family
Nice.
tree in it.
Wow.
Well, my cousins are doing right now. They're doing that genealogy, and they're getting ready to go on a trip to Arkansas through into Missouri, over towards the Mississippi, to backtrack our grandparents and great grandparents, and they're doing all that. One of them's got a family tree on a Word document, and he's doing all this stuff. And so I had to sit there and said, "Hey, cuz," I said, "I'm curious." I said, "I'm trying to figure out where my grandfather is on my mother's side." I said, "The reason why is because he was a doctor up in Newkirk, Oklahoma, had a practice. Well, he delivered me. Okay. So you would think there was a real tight bond because my grandfather delivered me. Well, he moved up in the world and became uh he became a self-made millionaire, and when we would go visit him, we had to wear a jacket with the family crest on, and you had to be prim and proper.
Oh no.
And I'm sitting there going like, that's like me putting a tie on. You won't, you're not going to see me with a tie because I grew up wearing, hey, I got a t-shirt, I got blue jeans, I've got, cowboy boots on. I'm good. I don't need no suit, tie, and family crest and all that. But long story short, I just wanted a grandfather. The only time I ever heard from him was that he sent his other daughter, my aunt, to my mother's funeral and all that. And then he called me when my father passed away to verify that my father had passed away, because my father was my mother and father. My mother was, went to a school and all that. My dad was down here in the bottom in all this of Kansas. And so it was like opposite attracted. I would love to have heard the story how my mom and dad met, but long story short, my father's side of the family always gave the love no matter what, and they'd give the shirt off their back and whatever. Whereas my mother's side of the family were like, he had his summer house in Maui, Hawaii. He had a summer house there, or winter house. When it was winter here, they'd go to Maui. Hey, great. You earned it. It's your money. Spend it your way. All I want's a Christmas card and my grandfather. Never happened. I've been trying to track him down. And when I went up to vote, early voting, I stopped. I went across the hallway and said, okay, I'm trying to find somebody. He had a practice here in Newkirk, Oklahoma. His name is so-and-so and so-and-so. Couldn't find nothing on him. And so I had my cousin look him up, found out when he passed away, but can't find where he's either, if he was cremated, if he's buried, or what. It's like, he's like a ghost.
Wow. I've got a funny story about that.
Well, one quick thing. I'm sorry, Miss Heather. What I wanted to do is I wanted to go to his grave and pay my respects. But I also wanted to say, you know what, Grandpa, even though I didn't have your love or support growing up, I still became a man, and I've still became a good person, and I care about people and I care about family. And I wanted to be here just to show you that I'm that better man. Miss Heather, go ahead.
All right. So we have one leg of our genealogy on my grandma's side that goes all the way up to my great grandpa James, or my great grandpa James. I'm not really sure. But he was, according to my great aunt Jeannie, he was a direct descendant of Jesse James.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow. Cool.
Yeah.
I have a repetitive story in my family tree.
Yeah.
What you got, Brother Joe?
On my father's side, his great-grandfather, my dad's great-grandfather, came over from Norway. On my mom's dad's side, back 5 generations from me, they came over from Norway. On my late wife's family tree, 5 generations back from her, is when her family came over from Norway. All 3 families came into New York City by way of 2 brothers. And what they would do is they would come into New York City, they would go looking for jobs, and agree to meet up at the end of the day at whatever place they were staying at. They would go back out again early the next morning to go look for jobs again. Now, the thing is, they were supposed to meet up at night each night to let them know if they had any success in finding jobs or anything like that, so that the other could go see if they could get a job at the same place or something like that and get in on it.
Yeah.
To where they were both making their money and being able to send money back to Norway to help their family come over to join them, if their family didn't actually come with them. Apparently, in all 3 branches of my family tree, one of the 2 boys got separated from the other and lost communication with the other brother that was somewhere in New York. Apparently, the other one didn't show up that night. So they went ahead and they decided to travel on west. All three ended up coming through a small town in Iowa on the way west called Nevada, Iowa. Just outside of the town of Des Moines, the city of Des Moines, our capital. Anyhow, from Nevada, Iowa, all three families decided to travel north. My mother's family stopped here near where I'm at in a small town called Fairfax. My wife's family settled here in Cedar Rapids. My dad's family went further north up into the area by the Turkey River in a town called Elkader. Now, none of the brothers that had twin brothers has ever located the family from the other twin. Try as they might. Now, my dad's family was the Jacobson family. My mom's family was the Dodge family. And my wife's family was the Ward family.
Okay.
But they never found the missing brother that was separated in New York City.
I'm going to do an experiment here. Oh, look at that. That's better.
Okay. Hey, it evens things up.
Oh, well, the ladies are to the left and the guys are to the right. So where have you got it? Where have you got it? Where I'm waiting to hear the rest of the story. As
well, Paul Harvey would say.
Back in Norway, when the families were there, my dad's family was from central Norway. My mother's family was from the eastern edge of Norway and had a family branch over in England. My wife's family was in southern Norway. My wife's family and mine were only 55 miles apart. But it took traveling from Norway to Cedar Rapids and 5 generations before we finally got together.
That's bizarre.
Wow. Brother Joe, I don't know if you saw Miss Rebecca's comment, but she says that she's starting our Santa hats.
Yes, I saw that.
So I'm going to have to email her so I can figure out how to donate to her.
The Yarn Fund?
The Yarn Fund.
Yarn Fund, yeah.
She sent me an address so I can contribute my share to that too. And yeah, I saw
I didn't notice
there.
I didn't notice the Duncan family said hi and stopped in for a bit.
Hi, Duncan family. Good to see y'all.
I don't know if they're still out there. Hello. I'm terrible at keeping up with chat.
Miss Evelyn's son finds the Christmas present. Hi, Linda.
Hi, Linda. How are you?
They're giving him hints and driving him crazy. Is he hot or cold, I wonder? Oh, you're getting cold.
That's funny.
Oh, me. Well, in 30 minutes, folks, it'll be official Christmas Day.
It's already official here. It's
that's
12:30.
Right. Yeah, you're.
Yep, it's
Merry Christmas, Miss Lori.
Thank you.
I'm giving you a hug, Miss Lori. Sending you a hug.
Thanks. Hugs to everybody.
I see you
Merry
found how to
Christmas.
label us all.
Nope, he found
Found
it.
it.
What's it going to be? What's it going to be? Drum roll.
Three church services. Wow.
There you go. Yes, she needs to jump on here, and she can go and singing with you, Miss Lori.
See, now that's something that I also miss is going to midnight mass. They don't even do midnight mass at midnight anymore.
They don't do a lot of things that they used to do in this world.
That's
I
true.
know. Absolutely.
It's now me. What can I get from me? And
Me.
Yeah.
Yep. It's all about me.
Whereas the other generations, it was like help thy neighbor.
Yeah.
You know. So I mean, it's like I've always said, I don't have a lot, but what I've got, I'll share. You know.
Yeah.
Except the dog.
I agree. Except the dog.
When I was in
Yeah.
10th grade, I asked my mother for the money to go uptown in my small town to the hardware store and buy a snow shovel. I walked home, shoveled our sidewalk first because that was my mother's requirement in loaning me the money. The next thing I did was shovel the neighbor's walk because that was a cousin. I went down one more house and I shoveled this elderly couple's walk because that was a cousin to my grandmother. I crossed the street and I shoveled that walk because it was my grandmother's sidewalk.
Heather, I've got a contact person for you for shoveling.
Unfortunately, I think he's in Iowa. So
I mean, just a little.
That's close.
I'm sure he will be more than happy to come over and shovel some of that 8-inch snow.
I don't know. I don't think I'd want to drive 6 hours or more to shovel stuff.
I couldn't believe when you were driving I can't remember, and forgive me, but when you were driving in the snow, I was like, holy cow, she's driving fast.
I was driving 35 miles an hour.
And then here comes that truck or that vehicle that had the trailer, and I'm like, oh, great, here comes an accident. I mean,
us folks up north, we're used to driving in the snow.
She drives in the snow like my mother used to drive in the snow.
You get used to it.
Well, that's like, you have to understand, people in Texas, they don't even know how to drive on when it's dry. I mean,
some people in Minnesota are the same way.
There are some people that just never get it.
Right.
Doesn't matter.
Driving a half a mile and you almost get in 3 accidents because people are dumb and they pull it in front of you. Yeah, that happens.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and they think they have an SUV so they can go 90 miles an hour down the road. And then
usually
they go
up here, it's big trucks. Like the pickup trucks tend to be the ones.
Oh, yeah. Pickup trucks are notorious because they start fishtailing and that's it. They're off the road. Yeah,
that's
not
why
good.
when it gets wintertime, I put 4 bags of play sand from Walmart over the axle of my bed of my truck to give it weight, so it has, because it's so lightweighted.
The rear end is light. Yep.
Yes.
Unless you got a big load in it. Oh yeah, fishtailing is nasty.
And I'll even sometimes, if it gets real bad, I'll let air pressure out of my rear tires, just so it has more surface versus it being, a thinner tire.
Yeah.
For the other Norwegian brother in New York has a Jacobson, maybe that might help you out. I have grandparents born in Norway. I'd like to go to Norway just so I can see the northern lights. And I've seen that they've got these. It's not an igloo, but it's all made out. It's the similar. It's like a half a dome, and it's made out of glass. And you can actually camp there and stay in those domes, and you can sit there and look at the clear sky. That's like where I was living at, north of the Metroplex of Dallas Fort Worth. Every now and then you could see the stars and all that. When I went out to my front door the first week I was here at night, it was like, my gosh, I could see all the stars. It was so much clearer air.
Yeah. And less ground light.
Yeah,
If you're
yes,
out if
yes.
you're out in the boonies away from the cities and everything, there's a lot less
Light pollution.
ground light that
That's the word.
diffuses so you can't see the stars. I know. Living near the city is, in the city is even worse. You can barely see any stars.
I live in a town of 16,000 people, and there's enough light pollution that sometimes it's hard to see the northern lights or stars or anything because it's just like a glowing.
Yeah.
Well, where I live, it's a population of 3,000, and then when I moved here, it became 3,001. Salute.
Nice.
So it's a small town. I mean, we've got Dollar General, we've got a Sonic, but other than that, we've got a Chinese restaurant, which
there aren't any Sonics in Minnesota either.
Well, Miss Heather, if you ever
I don't think we have it in
you
here.
ever come down this way, you're more than welcome. I'll give you the grand nickel tour. But I'll
I
tell
don't
you,
know of any Sonics.
it gets hot in the summertime, just like it did in Texas.
As long as it's not humid.
Yeah.
Well, it's 35% relative humidity inside my house. What is it outside? Where's it at? There it is. Come on. Go, 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 go. I have a weather station right out on the other side of that wall.
We do too. Right out back.
Well, right now, Miss Heather, it's 91% humidity outside.
Ugh.
And
Okay. Is that relative humidity?
Yes, sir.
Is that because you're all relatives in the house, or is that relative to something else?
So what is the actual temp outside?
At my place, it's currently 38. But it feels like it's 37. Oh, yeah. 20. What does it say for feel like 18?
16.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't mind being 20. I could be 20 again, but 16? No, I don't want to be 16.
I just upgraded it or updated it. It's 21 feels like 18. So you were right. I was wrong.
A heat wave.
Okay, I need to comment to Linda if I can here. The Jacobson name, spelled the way I have it, is the way that my family's name has been since before they left Norway. And the 3 different pairs of brothers that came over were supposed to all be capable of spelling. And they were listed by their correct last names in the books when they crossed on different boats into the United States. The problem is in 18 50, a lot of the family names changed because the postal departments were having problems with delivering packages in these small towns that were just branches of the same family with the same family name. So they actually paid people to change the spellings of their last name slightly.
Yeah.
Well, I wouldn't mind going to see Norway, but I cannot due to the fact that of the fur thing that's sitting right over here. Because if you looked in the back of my Dodge, which I have a quad cab or 4 doors, the whole back seat has been deemed Faith's area, as you can tell by all her dog hair.
Yeah.
But I take her with me wherever I go. If as long as it's not too cold or too hot. If it's cold or hot, I'll either leave the AC on or I'll leave the heater on. If I'm running into a store or getting gas, like today, we went and got gas, and I didn't leave the truck running when I was fueling, but I had the window down and she could see me and all that jazz. But she's, like I said, 15 years young. And so I try to spoil her because she's a rescue and I want her to, live a better life.
Yeah. Change names sometimes in New York or East Coast areas. Really? When they changed their names when they died? I have never heard of that. That's weird.
I think on my headstone it ought to read, "Here lies Texas Raider. He flew upside down all the time."
Is that even possible?
To fly upside down? It's an inverted roll, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You just
I
let me
don't
know.
do heights.
Let me know when you want to go flying.
I'm good. I'll pass.
Oh, come on.
So you're a pilot too?
I'm known as a barnstorm pilot. I can fly. I just couldn't finish getting the official license
Ah.
because at that time that was one expensive hobby.
Ah.
Very expensive. But yes, I can fly and all this, but it's like I'm famous for flying in what's called a barrel roll. A barrel roll is where you do a corkscrew.
Yep.
Nope.
I knew that.
As opposed to a loop-de-loop, which is this way.
Inside or outside loop?
I'll stay on the ground, thanks.
Yeah, I don't fly.
No, what I showed would be an inside loop because it'll be the top to the inside.
The funny thing is that everybody's sitting there going like they want to go parachuting and all this or do a tandem parachuting. I said, ain't happening. I'll stay with the plane. I'll fly it. You can jump out. I'll see you on the ground when and all that. I'm not going to parachute. Oh, no.
I won't even go up in a plane.
Oh.
I am petrified of flying. I've got friends down in Florida. They say, "Oh, you gotta just come down and just fly down. It's cheap. Yeah, no thanks. If my feet are not on the ground, if I can't get my feet on the ground from where I'm sitting, nah."
So you're one of those, Miss Lori, that if God would have meant us to fly, He would have given us wings.
He would have given us wings, exactly.
I've been on an airplane a couple times. I went to Washington, D.C., I think in 99 or 2000. And we flew there. I think it was a 2.5-hour flight or was it an hour and a half? I don't remember. And then we left from Minneapolis and went to Cincinnati, Ohio, I think, and then flew out of there and went international to London, and then flew out of Paris and then back. And that, I think, is enough flying for me. I'm not a fan of the airplane.
Yeah. No, me neither. I could not do it.
Well, Miss Linda, I'll tell you what. You can jump out of the plane, and I'll sit there and fly. Okay. I'd rather be in the plane than feel. I've had those dreams or whatever where you're falling, and all that. And they
Yeah.
say see yourself hit the ground,
Yeah, you're dead.
And
You're gonna
so
wake up
You die
dead.
from the heart attack you have when you hit the ground when you're dreaming of things like that. Strange thing is, I dreamt I hit the ground and bounced.
what was that? What was that? Oh gosh, what were they called in Rudolph?
Bumbles bounced.
Yeah, that's it.
Bumbles bounce.
Bumbles bounced.
The problem is,
Cornelius.
I can't fall off of the building that I dreamt that I fell off of, because they tore it down and rebuilt a different building there.
Aha.
So, Miss Linda, are you 82nd or 101? In response to your answer there.
I'm Army.
Okay, you lost me. I have no idea what you're talking about.
Well, there's the 82nd Airborne Division, and there's the 101st Screaming Eagle Division, and all this. And I don't know if there's any more other than the Special Forces, Green Berets, and all of them that parachute, but I didn't know if that's the reason why I was asking. Because the reason why is that I worked with the 82nd and the 101st when I lived over in Israel, because they were working they had two camps. They had a North Camp and a South Camp, and they were in the Sinai Peninsula. In other words, they were a buffer between Egypt and Israel, and they were in the Sinai Peninsula. Yeah, I'm right there with you, Miss Evelyn. I'd rather glide down if I lose engine power, if I don't have multi-engines that I can rely on. But yeah.
I have a friend that it's one of my make-believe friends on the internet, that I met back in the early 2000s on a website of a famous radio personality guy. And he's a doctor, and he's in the Navy. He was in the Navy at the time. He's retired now. And he was a colonel, I think, some kind of a colonel. Not
Well, they've got full bird colonels, but they're actually called commanders in the Navy, I believe.
Is that what it is? He
right
was very high ranking when he retired, and he was a pilot, and he was a part of the Doctors Without Borders. They used to travel around here, there, and everywhere, all over the world, because he was a plastic surgeon. And he used to go here, there, and everywhere, and he would fix little kids or even grown-ups with cleft palate and stuff like that. And his whole he had a whole group of guys that he used to go, and he was the pilot. He'd fly out there, and they'd go and do their work for a day or two, and then they'd come back home. They'd work, the whole time they were there. They were doing all kinds of surgeries and stuff, and then they'd come home. But
I'm not exactly
He was
sure what rank my grandpa was in when he was in, but he rode in a tugboat, I guess, in the Navy. He was all over like different places. I don't know.
this guy was a doctor. He actually is a doctor. He was a doctor in the Navy. That's where he got his doctorate. And he's actually there's a TV show that he went on because he was born Jewish. His mother was Catholic, but she gave up the Catholic faith to marry his father. And she was more Jewish than his father was. His father was a nominal Jew, and she was the one that taught him when he was young. And then when he went to medical school and everything, he became agnostic and then atheist.
Oh,
And then he went through the whole gamut. And then he had a crisis in his life, and he got to the point where he was suicidal, and he was ready to just end it all. And he found himself in a parking lot in the pouring rain outside a Catholic church, and for some reason he decided to go in, and he became Catholic. There's a show on TV on EWTN, which is a Catholic TV station that started by Mother Angelica. I don't know if you ever heard of her.
yes.
It's
I have.
called The Journey Home is the show. And Marcus Grodi is the host. And he interviewed him. His story is amazing. It's like he's an amazing guy. He really is.
Well, see,
And
oh,
you can find it on YouTube. It's on YouTube. Just look up A Journey Home, the Journey Home, and Dr. Patrick Lappert, Lappert. He's unbelievable. His story, he tells the whole story, and it's a tearjerker. It really is. He's a great guy. Anyway, just somebody I met on the internet. Like, not everybody you meet on the internet is bad. I've met a lot of people on the internet, and they are very nice. You gotta be able to pick your friends.
That's
Yep.
true.
Yeah.
well, I've read the book that is called "God Is My Co-Pilot."
I've heard of that.
So, if you know, but basically, it's about a pilot in the military, or at least the one I read, and he, was lost and everything, and it was like he started praying, and it was like he got back on track and got where he needed to go. But it's it's not a long read, but it's it's not one of these thick books. It's about yay and maybe less than an inch. So, but
Yeah, I like stories like that.
and
They're
and and
interesting.
I'm not saying bad about anybody or faith and all that, but in 5 minutes Hanukkah starts, folks,
Yeah,
or at least here at
that's
my
right.
time.
Okay.
It doesn't happen very often, but this year Hanukkah is the
on the
same day as
Christmas
Christmas,
Day and goes all the
yep,
way into January.
January
hmm
2nd. Yep, I know. I looked it up today because it's the Festival of Lights, and that's there's a lot of debate whether Jesus was really born in December or if he was born in the spring because of the shepherds being out in the fields. It's like the shepherds were always out in the fields with their animals. Where else would they be? Anyway, the Festival of Lights is a special holiday where the miracle of the light, the
Come on.
candle that's that stayed lit for 8 days.
Yep. 8 crazy days, as Adam Sandler called it.
hmm
Yep, and it's appropriate that Jesus is supposed to be the light of the world. That's what it calls him in the Bible. And the light of the world came into the world during the Festival of Lights.
I was sitting
Yes,
on my foot. It started tingling.
But they keep saying it's a pagan holiday. Yes. And everything's pagan now. Well, everything is going back to pagan. That's for sure. That's
yes, ma'am,
why the
I know.
world is in such crappy shape because everybody's going pagan again.
What's amazing how I can, well, before Google, I guess you could, I don't know, maybe even now, but how kids can type in a word in their search bar and be looking for this one thing, but yet over here it's sitting there showing things that shouldn't be shown.
Yeah, I know.
And it is scary because the fact that you're sitting there going like, well, I've taught my daughters, this, and this, and yet there's so much coming at these kids nowadays. It's ridiculous
I know. I
and
know. You got
very
to
unsafe.
watch them.
Yeah.
That's why it's so bad for people to buy kids a phone because they can go online and look up stuff that you don't want them to see. You don't want them to even know about.
Yep, I
It's
agree.
it's it's bad.
Well, my last job that I had was I was a what's called a school resource officer. What that is a police officer is assigned a particular campus, and my job was to protect the students and the staff, and whatever. That was my job. But I also did other things. I mean, if I when it came time to the Christmas time, I dressed up as Santa and for the kids and for the special need kids. But my point of what you were saying is that all these kids had MacBooks, and on their MacBooks and all that, I would get alerts on my computer or on my phone that when they were looking up things that they shouldn't be looking up, or in other words, if a teacher was saying, okay, we're going to research World War II and Pearl Harbor, and they typed in the words, that made boom sounds, if I'll put it that way, and all that, but in a different word, it would alert that word and it would send it to me and to the principal and all that. And so then we would have to go investigate. Come to find out, 90% of the time it was the teacher had given them assignments. But then there was the other percentage that, kids were being kids and all that.
Yep. Mm.
And
We
I have
actually
to
had
admit,
one of those until this year. The funding got cut or whatever. So, like, this is the first year that we don't have a resource officer in the school. But previous years we have. So they still technically have those.
well, the whole thing I always said is that, I would love to have it to where they would put me out of a job. as far as and it would go back to where, I mean, when I went to high school, we had 30-30s or shotguns in the back of our pickup trucks because afterwards it was dove season, it was deer season, whatever the case may be, you know. And so, but now, a person, now we're sitting there having to protect our children. And yes, I called them the students. I called them, those are my kids, and they were for that period of time frame.
Yeah.
And we had to protect them from people that wanted to do harmful things. And it's sad that you have to have a police officer there because of that reason.
Right.
Yeah.
And I mean, I get alerts of the current situations that go on and all that, and I'm just like, good gosh, folks, yeah, I understand everybody has a bad day, yours included, but that doesn't mean you need to go and do harm to others.
Yeah.
Just,
It's like they do it. They seem to get it into their head that they want to be special. So they figure the only way they're going to get any attention, the attention that they want, is to do something that's going to be all over the news. And they'll be special that way.
Yeah. And I'm not saying that not all of them have that. There are those that may have some issues that need help. They just don't know how to get help because they're a younger age. And, and it's like, I'm all for, let's get them help and everything. I would bond with the students. There are those students that I couldn't, I tried as much as I tried to bond with them. And it was just like, just like you were saying, there's good and bad, and not everybody wants to be your friend. Well, but I wouldn't give up on it. Okay, so is Duncan Family Farms, is that one of, I'm trying to think of their names. Because I
can't remember.
Yeah, I got a friend request that popped up with the last name of Duncan. I'm not sure if it's.
I think I've seen them on YouTube, but I'm not.
Well, this is on Facebook.
Yeah, I don't.
No, I've seen Duncan Family Farms on a couple of different places I've been, but I don't remember the names.
Well, he's friends with Paul Case, so Paul Case Farms, so I approved it. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it looks like he's a godly man because he does a lot of good things, went to a couple places. But anyway, because that's one thing I'm the social media, I'm real careful of who I allow to be on my social media because the simple fact that, there's too many scammers and everything else out there.
Yep.
Or people that want to congregate towards kids.
Yeah.
Well, that or other bad things. I'll just leave it at that.
Yeah.
Now we talk about how the electronic media can get to kids in a bad way. I've got a story quick here about a kid that was going into kindergarten, pre-kindergarten, in year-round school. They were just about to take a break between sessions, which was like a 2-week break. And he comes home riding along in the parents' car, mumbling in the back seat, nobody really paying attention to him. I meet him outside as they were going into their apartment. And I ask him what he's repeating. And he repeats to me not only the alphabet forwards, but then he turns around and says it backwards, right afterwards.
Wow.
And I said, well, you're saying it backwards. Can you start in the middle, like at the letter J, and go back to A? And he did that. I said, that's doing pretty good. Have you told your teacher in class that you can do this? He says, no, I didn't tell the teacher yet. I said, have you explained it to your mom and dad that you can do this? Well, no. I said, well, if your teacher doesn't know you're doing this, and your parents don't know you're doing this, where did you learn how to do the alphabet backwards like that? He says, from my tablet. I said, okay. Now, it's pretty neat. Here he is, 5 years old at the time. He learns the alphabet backwards, how to alphabetize backwards off of his tablet. When another 5-year-old in the neighboring apartment is using his tablet to look up this other character who is known as the Ornery Orange. And
As who?
Ornery Orange, and the
Ornery.
show is to show how bad an individual can be and get by with it with their parents possibly, but yet their friends will try to correct that behavior. Now the strange thing is this 5-year-old is also on the autistic spectrum,
Yeah.
but he
That
used
actually
his
kind of makes
tablet
sense.
to learn that much faster things that the other kids in his class were not even trying to learn.
Wow. I'm reading chat.
I was like, Miss Lori, you frozen?
No, I was reading Linda's been posting a lot of stuff up here that I haven't had a chance to even read.
I gotta look and see if I've subbed Miss Linda. I need to look and check.
I don't even know if I have.
Well, let's see. I'm not. She's a mod, but I'm not. So let me.
Yeah, I was just looking at that too.
Let's see. Oh, I can look. I can cheat and go there. Let's see. Well, I've got one thing to say about that young man that can say the alphabet backwards. I know I would have to sit and concentrate and really think about it and try to even do it, whereas he was probably just going blah, 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 and running it through. I can
Yeah, I
see
wouldn't
that.
be able to do it.
I mean, when I was in school, we went from inches to feet to yards, and then they came in and said, we're going to learn the metric system. It's so much easier. And I'm like, I cannot do the metric system.
No, I don't. I can't
Okay.
think in that. It's like just changing your brain to do something totally different than you've learned your whole life, and it's like, no, thank you.
Blow you away
I
a little
can't
bit
do
here.
that.
How many centimeters in 6 inches?
Oh,
Hang on, let me
You're
get
not-
my ruler.
I thought it made you a mod.
Well, it looks like it's going to be 2 and almost
Okay,
2 and a
where are
half inches.
That's not the question I asked then.
Oh wait, you said
I said
centimeters?
6 inches is
Oh,
how
I
many
thought-
centimeters?
Oh, I thought you said. My apologies too.
Yeah, 6 inches is 15 centimeters.
I found her.
How did you find her? Because I can't find her. I typed in her name.
I typed in her name and then I went up to the 3 little dots there where you can go to search filters
Okay.
on type channel and then hit
Ah,
apply, and she's the 4th one down.
Okay,
See?
there you go.
you just taught me something new.
Did you find it?
Chris,
Yes.
you're a
Yeah.
moderator.
Oh Lord.
Now he can just go from his
And
phone
Linda,
and click
I
on
do
her
know
name.
how
And
to use the slide rule. I don't know if Chris has or not.
I'm sorry. Say again, Brother Joe. I was concentrating on what I was doing. I'm a
Do you
man. I
use
can only.
Linda asked if you use the slide rule.
Oh, yeah. I remember the slide rules. I threw them in the trash.
By the way, Linda, yes, I do remember that song.
You know what I miss, Miss Lori? All the Christmas specials that they had way back when.
Oh, yeah, me
With the
too.
music, with I mean, with the it's like
Mhm.
the Carpenters, for an example, the Christmas specials,
Oh, yeah.
or the
Perry
Glenn.
Como.
Yeah, you know.
Yep,
I mean,
I do.
where I grew up, we had 3 channels, and you either and it was like either you had to watch Hee Haw, the oh God, not Bing Crosby. Oh God, what's his name with the bubbles? The Lawrence Welk
Lawrence
show.
Welk?
Lawrence Welk.
And then on Sunday, it was Sunday evening. It was the Wonderful World of Disney, and before
After
that, it was,
Lawrence Welk.
and then there was Mutual of Omaha,
Mutual of Omaha.
Wild.
Wild Kingdom. That was first.
Yep.
Then it was Lawrence Welk. Then it was Disney.
And every Sunday from Disney, it was like something new, and you actually got to watch. And it was. I mean, I grew
Yep.
up with Captain Kangaroo. I mean, Mr.
Oh,
Green.
yeah, me too. And Clarabelle.
Yep. Yes, I'm that old, Miss Heather. I'm old.
I'm
I mean,
older.
if you look at my mustache, you can see the gray hair right there.
I got gray hairs too.
Mine's white at the top.
You got snow.
Down here it looks dark, but it's
Well,
not.
that's what I was going to say, Miss Lori. You were confused. You played a trick on me, Miss Lori.
Yeah, if I take my hat off
Wow.
underneath, it's silver. The whole top is silver.
What was it, Burl Ives that sang in Rudolph, Silver and
Rudolph.
Gold?
Silver and gold, silver and gold.
Oh, Burl Ives
Yeah.
had that beautiful voice. He did.
Yep, he did. He
But, yeah.
narrated it too.
Yes, he
Yes.
did.
I might as well leave it off because I'm never going to get it back on now.
Never say never.
Never say never.
If you're
A
moving
lot of
forward,
people
you're
remember.
moving.
That's true.
A lot of people remember Captain Kangaroo.
Oh, yeah.
Did any of you ever see the Dr. Max show?
I'm sorry, the who?
Dr. Max. He was usually about 3:30 in the afternoon until about 5 o'clock.
And what era
No.
would that
Major Mud.
Say what?
What era? What
We had
year would
Major.
that have been?
About the same time as Captain Kangaroo. He was opposite when the public broadcasting company ran the electric company and
Oh, wow.
that
So
kind of
that was
stuff.
at 5 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yeah, he ended at 5 o'clock
The
in the
electric
afternoon.
company was at 5
and
o'clock.
it was back in the 70s. 60s
Yeah,
and
I don't
70s.
remember that.
Is that where, now correct me if I'm wrong, Brother Joe, is that where, I just went blank. I call him Weird Al Yankovic. Didn't he
Oh.
didn't he learn from somebody like that? Or some guy? I thought he was Dr. Dementia. I don't know.
Oh
He-
yeah, might have been Doctor
He's a
Dementia.
spin-off from a Dr. Demento group,
Dementia.
yes.
yeah.
But Dr. Max was one of the afternoon cartoon shows, similar to Captain Kangaroo was a cartoon show in the early morning.
The ones that I miss
Yeah.
is the Warner Brothers cartoons.
Oh, I love those.
Oh yeah.
You know, I loved Bugs Bunny.
Yep.
Yeah, but like everything else, that's got a woke symbol now too.
That's so dumb.
I mean,
you may have heard this one here yourself, Chris. Warn a brother if you see an officer. Just warn a brother.
yeah. I mean, we grew up. I grew up. You know, it's like the coyote and the roadrunner, and you know the coyote would do something, try to catch the roadrunner, and he'd fall, and you'd see him, you know, hit
Flat at the bottom.
but then boom, he was right back up and doing something different. You know,
Yep.
and
Well, when you
And then
land
you've
in a
got Tom
pile
and
of
Jerry
dust,
and
you can
Sylvester and
sink a certain amount in that dust. But
well, there was a couple of times that they showed where he went, you know, so many feet in the ground, and you know, and it was just, you know,
yeah,
he was sprawled out. There was that, you know, but but you know, it's like, and then growing up in the '60s and the '70s, we didn't wear seatbelts. I mean, granted, cars had
There
laptops.
was no such. There was
Yeah.
no such thing as seatbelts when I was a kid.
we used to all pile in the back of the station wagon and like face backwards and
Yep.
we'd ride there, or we'd sit in like the bed of a truck.
Yep.
Yes.
We weren't moving very
70
fast,
miles.
but
70-mile-an-hour
Yeah,
speed
we used to
limit
do that
on
all the
prairie
time.
roads.
Yeah. Back in the days, we were footloose and fancy free.
Yep. The only guy that so I'm guessing that Dr. Max, whatever the heck it was, is probably a local thing to where you live, because we had a
Probably
guy
so.
called Major Mudd, MUDD, Major Mudd, and he'd wear a like a space helmet
Uh-huh.
Well, in the
and
Did
a
he have a
shiny
clown
suit.
sidekick?
Huh?
Did he have a clown sidekick on his show?
I believe he did, but I can't remember. I can't remember who his sidekick was. He did have a sidekick, but I can't remember. And then there was the Saturday morning cartoons. I loved Saturday
Mhm.
mornings because
Yep.
all the cartoon shows. And
Dr.
Saturday
Max's-
mornings we had a local Boston channel that had what was the name of it? Boomtown, which was like this cowboy guy, and his sidekick was an Indian.
You talking
Rex
about the Lone
Trailer.
Ranger? In Lone
Rex
Ranger?
Trailer.
Linda, do you remember
Yeah.
the Bozo the Clown show showing a friend of Bozo's named Mambo?
Yeah, I
Oh,
remember.
there were bozos in almost every city. Had a different bozo. Yeah, we had a bozo.
On the Bozo the
We didn't
Clown
have a
show
mambo.
on TV, Mambo was one of Bozo's friends.
Ah,
Mambo was the clown sidekick to Dr. Max. The secret about
oh,
these clowns is they were all Shriner clowns.
I remember the Three Stooges.
Yeah. Which three?
Well, there was Moe, Larry, and Shemp. And Curly.
Oh yeah, and Curly. Yeah, I always
It-
liked
it
Curly more
started
than
without
Shemp.
Shemp. Shemp was actually the fourth stooge.
Yeah,
Started with Larry,
Mo,
Mo, and
Larry, and
Curly.
Curly.
Yeah.
Yep.
The Three Stooges.
Defense to the
I love the
ankle.
Marx Brothers.
Yeah. And then yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
There you go. And Heather's sitting there going like, "What in the world are y'all talking about?"
What are you talking about?
I lived through the 80s. I'm not that young. I do know like what you're talking about. So I'm not like
The
completely
next
left
thing
in the
you'll
dark.
I
possibly
remember.
recall is Woody Woodpecker.
Oh God.
Oh, yes. I used to be able to do that really good.
I remember the Speedy Gonzales.
Oh, yes.
And
Nor
I remember when Frito chips came out with the Frito chips, and there was, oh my God, I just went blank. This the Bandito,
Yeah.
Frito
Frito
Bandito.
Bandito.
yeah,
Yep.
Brain fart.
Yep.
almost as fast as
The
Speedy
who?
Gonzales. Yeah, the Frito Bandito was almost as fast as Speedy Gonzales.
Almost.
Almost.
You know, you mentioned Weird Al.
Yes,
My
ma'am.
husband this morning, we were talking, and he brought up one of Weird Al's famous songs, appropriate for Christmas. Christmas at Ground Zero.
Yep. Yep.
And he looked it up and he played it. It's like, it's
I'll have to look
Christmas
that one
at
up myself
Ground
because I don't
Zero.
remember.
You
Do
don't
I
remember
do?
it?
No, I don't.
Well, trust me, if
Oh,
I'm not going to play it because of the fact that yeah, she'll definitely get marked, and I don't want her
yeah,
tagged
probably would.
and all that. Well,
I have a problem with Ground Zero because my youngest brother has a problem with it.
That didn't work.
Oh,
He was in the Army at the time of
Oh.
9/11.
oh,
9/11 is his birthday.
oh,
oh, that poor guy.
The day the towers fell,
yep,
Yeah,
he got a
I
presidential
remember.
phone call to report to work and issue out some cell phones and take the next next 5 people that reported in with him to go shut down our local airport. On
Yeah.
his 30th birthday.
Oh,
My earbud
that's
died.
painful.
Did you see Miss Linda's comment where she was talking mom and dad's hands and well, I say in arms, mine was arms, was our seat belts back in the day.
Yes, I did see that. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yep, I remember that.
But
Yeah, Mom on one side, Dad on the other side, and I get 2 arms across me.
But back
Oh
in
yeah,
those days, cars and vehicles were made of steel and metal versus
and they weighed a ton.
plastic now.
Yeah,
So
They weighed a heck of a lot more than they do now.
yes, they did.
They had some muscle behind them.
And you could work on them with minimal tools.
Exactly. You could tune them up and do whatever you needed to do, and there was a lot of room around everything in the under the hood.
Yeah.
Now there's so much junk in there you can't even find what the heck you're looking for.
And you got to have a computer to tell you what's wrong with it.
Exactly. Yeah.
In 1965,
And where the hell is
I
the
witnessed-
dipstick?
In 1965,
I'm sorry.
I witnessed my first automobile accident. I was actually sitting
Been there, done
inside a Main Street building where my parents had their upholstery shop, and a lady pulling up to stop at the curb accidentally hit the wrong pedal and hit the gas instead of the brake and went up over a step-up curb, which is actually a step, and then another step up to get to the sidewalk. She went up over that and hit the front of the building where I was standing inside.
Ugh.
Caused the whole building to have to be remodeled across the front of the building.
Ugh. Wow. That's scary.
Took out 2 panes of sheet glass that were 6 foot or 8 foot tall and 6 foot wide.
Wow.
I'm going to have to stop my feed here for a moment.
You got somebody behind you, brother.
Yeah,
Yep.
I know.
Somebody's sneaking up on you.
Somebody's
They
sneaking
don't
up
want to
on
be
you.
on. They don't want to be on screen, so I need to cancel my video for a moment.
Well, I'll
That's
close
fine.
my eyes and. Did you see that Nana 9 Acres is here?
I did. I said hi. Hello, Nana. Merry Christmas.
Isn't it past her bedtime?
Oh,
What is
Nana
she doing
Lisa.
up?
They were out doing stuff, I think, tonight, and they said they weren't going to be available until later.
I look forward to the day that because the next meetup is Tin Killer, and I am so looking forward to meeting so many. You know, you see them on here, but to get them to meet them in person, the only people I've met in person so far is Amy and Chris Leonard from Leonard Mountain Homestead.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I haven't met anyone yet.
Well,
And I
everybody,
probably
I've
won't.
noticed that a lot of channels that I follow, or if you imagine this is Oklahoma, they're all the way over here in East Oklahoma and all that. And there's very few that are actually living where I'm at. And so, but anyway, it's just, I've
Just
still
got
got
home from. That's what it is.
Okay.
It was her
gonna
dad,
drop out for a few
Dale's
minutes.
dad's Christmas.
I'm here to tell you.
Bye, Brother Joe.
What happened, Joe? He disappeared.
He may come back. I don't know. I was talking
Yeah.
and I didn't hear him. I see a tail.
Tilly. Come here, Tilly.
Hi, Tilly.
Oh, isn't he cute? Oh, so kitty. Cute kitty.
Hello, Brother Trey.
Oh, there he is.
Sit down.
Yeah, but he's got a lot going on. I wonder if they're freezing. They're getting freezing temps over there.
Oh, thanks, Trey. At least he's got it running.
Well, I texted him to let him know we were still live, and so I guess he jumped on and to say, he's busy. So
Yeah. Oh, that sucks. So, Nana, are you and Dale going to come up and join us, or are you hitting the sack?
Nothing but silence. Reminds me of that song Silent Night that you were talking about, Miss Lori.
I know, huh?
Let's see, we've talked about Christmas songs, we've talked about airplanes, uh, parachuting,
Cartoons.
yep, cartoons. We reminisced about
Yeah.
old shows.
Do you want to see what Jeff sent me from the Roll Report that I got from the mailbox this morning?
You got another
Sure.
package?
I did.
Wow. Let's see.
A valve mess up. We got it replaced.
Wow. Is
Liner
that what you
on the
want on
computer and
the gift? The gift? Oh, yeah, that is.
Ooh, wow. That's a nice little
They're really pretty.
steak knife.
All right. If you're going to show things that you got from Rural Report,
Is that what you got from?
this was a long time. This was some time ago.
Yeah.
That's a filleting
They're
knife.
so pretty.
That is nice.
A couple weeks ago, I got a set of 5 of them, so this is my 6th one.
Yeah, I was going to say you got those 5, and those were like wow. But yeah, this will never. And yeah,
I have my brother died a few years ago, and he had a
Yeah, these are the ones that I got
glass
the first
topped
time.
wooden case.
yeah. Wait till
He
you
had
see
a
these,
glass.
Miss Lori.
Ah, nice. Now see, that's
There's your steak knife.
that's a nice little steak knife. That's beautiful. My brother had this wooden case with a glass top that you open up, and it had a whole set of all different kinds of. He was a member of some hunters club or something, and he used to get stuff like that all the time. And he had this. It was a beautiful wooden case. I have it somewhere. I think it might be. I'm not sure.
I'm going to
I
say
know it used to
quickly,
be over there.
good night, Nana and Dale.
Good night, Nana and Dale.
Sending hugs and love.
Merry Christmas.
It's got flowers
Have
on
a
it
great
too.
day tomorrow. Oh,
Huh.
that's a little tiny one. Little baby knife.
Well, Miss Heather, we have something in common because look right there.
That's cool.
So
I'll have to look for my brother's collection. And I don't know what to do with it because we're not hunters or anything, so
Come here.
we don't have any use for it.
well, what about children? Do you have any hunters or anybody in there?
Nobody in the family, no. Not that I know of, anyway.
Well,
I mean,
I'm
we
sure
have lots of
they-
nieces and nephews, but none of them have ever been into hunting or anything like that. He also had a fancy bow, and I think that's still down cellar somewhere.
I own a recurve bow. I do not have a compound bow. I've got a recurve,
I think this
which
is
is,
a
you know,
compound.
and I've been thinking about. Oh gosh, I wish Trey was on here. He could tell me because I think he's got one.
He's in jet.
Yeah, he's still listening.
Well, what is it that shoots a bolt? Trey,
Crossbow?
Your crossbow. I've been wanting to see about getting one of those, but I don't know. I'm
They're hard to
happy.
come by.
Well,
Some states they're illegal.
I'm happy with that my grandfather on my father's side of the family. I have his thing to go out and be able to go hunt like pheasants, dove, quail. So, and without saying what it is, because I don't know if I can or not.
Trey said crossbow.
Thank you, Trey. See, what would I do without you, Trey?
So did Joe, actually.
Oh, I'm sorry, Joe. I missed that. Forgive me, brother Joe. Hey, I'll admit when I'm wrong. It's not a problem because I am nowhere near perfect.
As soon as you said bolt, I knew what it was.
Well, and I couldn't. Here it is. I've been up since 5:00 yesterday
Oh,
morning.
dear.
It's all Trey's fault because he keeps me up all night because I try to keep him awake all night. But I would not change it for the world because he is a true friend. He is.
He's a nice guy. He really is.
A slingshot. That reminds me of the Beverly Hillbillies when they went all out and they went skeet shooting, and Granny sit there and took, Uncle Jed's thing and shot, they were shooting with that, the old flint rifles. And Ellie Mae Clampett came up and said, "Oh, watch this." And she takes the slingshot and whee, and
Yep.
But I saw pictures of Granny from the Clampetts. I don't know her real name, but anyway, I saw pictures of back when she was young, and she was very beautiful.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, she was. She was a little bitty thing.
Yep, but and then there was another show called Petticoat Junction.
Petticoat Junction. Yep, the three sisters.
Yep.
Yeah.
But in the
I remember all those shows.
My first airplane war movie I ever saw was John Wayne in The Flying Tigers.
Yep.
And it was in
I
black
remember
and
that
white.
one.
It wasn't colored. It was in black and white.
Black and white.
Yep.
My dad used to love to watch all those old movies. He served in World War II for a little while. He had to badger him to get him to. He was born in 1900.
Wow.
He was too young to go to World War I because his mother wouldn't sign to let him go. And by the time he was old enough to go, the war was over. World War II came along, he was too old. So he kept going to the recruiting office in Worcester and begging them to go. He said, "Sign me up. I'll do anything." "Nah, you're too old. Go home. Don't bother coming back." But every week he'd go. Whenever they had a day of recruiting, he'd go there to talk to the recruiting officer, and they'd see him sitting in the same line every week, and they'd say, you're too old. You can't. What are you going to do? And he said, "I can cook." He said, "Put me in. I will cook for the boys." They finally let him in. He served for about a year, but he had varicose veins and flat feet. He made it through boot camp. He made it through, and he served for a year. And even the kids that were in boot camp and everything loved him because he cooked, because he knew how to cook, and they had good food in the mess hall. And
Yeah.
one visiting colonel or some big high whoop-de-doop came for inspection one time, and they were asking him, he was wondering where they were going to have him eat or who was going to cook for him. And he said, "Oh, you can go to the mess hall." He said, "Mess hall?" And he said, "Yeah, we got a good cook over there." And he went and he ate and he loved it. And he wanted to take him with him.
Yep.
He wanted him as his personal chef, but he was going to China. He was being transferred to China. And he wanted to travel all over Europe with him. And he said, no. He said, I know it was a cushy job. He would have gotten good pay, travel all over the world. And he said, no, I want to feed the boys.
Yep. And that right there is a true American right there, because instead of taking the easy thing and all that, he thought of the other soldiers, other veterans and all that, as it should have
Yep.
been.
He wanted to take care of the kids that were coming in. He said, they're leaving home and they're going over there to fight. And I want to have them remember at least that I was cooking for them, and they didn't have moms cooking anymore, but I could feed them something decent before they went off to fight.
And a lot of them didn't come back because they were kids.
Mhm.
Yeah,
You know?
they were.
I mean, I signed up when I was 17. So
He wanted to, but his mother wouldn't sign for him.
Well, unfortunately, I was too young. Like you mentioned, I was too young to go to Vietnam and all that. But let me see if I can get it off.
Yeah, I remember you showed that the other night.
There, I'm trying to get in the light. If I can get it closer. Basically, it's a POW MIA. What it says is Colonel Robert A. Gavon, U.S. Air Force, April Fools, 1967, and he was in a plane and got shot down. I didn't ask for. I just said send me whomever. People will sit there and go, well, may have a relative or something, and they want their name. Understandable. To me, it didn't matter, but I show my support. And it doesn't. I don't take it off a lot. But
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, that was my dad. He was unbelievable. I was 50. He was 52 when I was born.
I'm sorry. I'm reading what Linda put. I saw the word cake, and I'm like, what? We got food?
Oh, sure. Cake is more important. That's fine.
Well, I'm a man, and I went right. What's the best?
I made a cake today. I actually made a cake today. I had an old angel food cake mix in the cabinet that was beyond its expiration date, and I said I got to do something with it, so I made a cake.
And then Heather was sitting there doing things, and I'm waiting for part 2 because I haven't seen it yet, because you said it was going to be you only did half the batch, and now you've got to get, so I'm waiting for part 2.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Lefse is actually a Norwegian flatbread.
Yep.
So we cook it we roll it out and cook it on griddles, and then we'll usually butter it and sugar, and then roll them up.
It looked
We
good.
haven't made the second half yet.
It looked great.
We're thinking maybe tomorrow if it doesn't get completely crazy first.
Well, it's like
That
over in
sounds good.
Israel, they have it's kind of the same thing, but they're thicker, and it's like flat bread, but it was great. Like I say, if I couldn't live in the United States, I would be going back to Israel, because the people were they treated their military with the utmost respect. The women were there that were in Israel were treated with the utmost respect. And it was wonderful. And I never felt safer in a foreign country than I did in Israel.
Yeah, so from the time that I was really, really little, my grandma used to roll out the lefse, and us kids would sit and poke the bubbles and flip them over, and it was like a group project. And my grandma actually passed away 20 days before Soraya was born. So now we carried on now. So she had big shoes to fill.
Well, you know what? You reminded me that I do not have in my kitchen is I don't have a rolling pin. Now, granted, I'm not a baker, but on all that. But now I'm sitting there going like, I got to put that, back, on my Amazon wish list. I need to get a rolling pin, because if I ever need one, I'm going to have to come up
I have
with
several.
Well, I've got dowel rods that if push came to shove, I could use a dowel rod, and but needless to say, I could come up with something. But as for actual rolling pin, and I've also got to get an iron. I found out because I've got Western shirts, and I was like, after the move and all that, I was like, ooh, they've got a bunch of wrinkles, and I need to get them cleaned and pressed. So I went down to a local restaurant here, and I said, by chance, I said, you've lived here for a while, haven't you? And they, oh, yeah. And I said, is there a cleaners? Because I haven't found one yet. And they say, oh, no, if you want a cleaners, it's 17 miles that way.
Oh, God.
But we do have a donut shop, so I'm good.
Is it Dunkin's?
No. It's just a mom and pop donut shop.
A mom and pop donut shop. That's good. That's good.
Because I love cinnamon rolls. Oh, the big cinnamon rolls. Oh, boy.
Those are fun to make from
I haven't
scratch.
had one.
And
I haven't made it. I haven't had cinnamon rolls in a long time. There used to be a local place around here that we used to get them, and they were like cow patties. They were huge.
Yep.
They were so good.
You only eat one because they were that big.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly.
And I love it when like the glazed donuts or even the, what do they call them? The insides of the glazed donuts.
The donut holes?
Pardon?
The holes?
The donut holes?
Donut holes. The donut holes. I love them when they're nice and warm, and it's, and it's just like they melt in your mouth.
Yeah.
And then the granddaughter, she always liked the chocolate covered donuts.
My dad used to make donuts. My dad used to make everything. He used to make bread. He always cooked the turkeys for Thanksgiving. We used to have turkey for Thanksgiving and Christmas both, and sometimes for Easter. And he was always the one to make the turkey and the stuffing and He was a good cook.
Well,
My mom was the real pastry maker.
Ah,
She used to make pies and cakes,
well,
stuff like that.
my favorite is peach cobbler. Oh my god.
I almost made peach cobbler today, and then I decided that I needed to get rid of that package of, because I don't like using cake mixes and stuff like that. But my sister had a bunch of cake mixes and brownie mixes and stuff in her cabinets. And when she died, we cleaned out her kitchen and everything, and all that stuff ended up in my pantry. Yeah.
Let me see. Oh, she doesn't have it on her link. I was trying to see if I could find Miss Linda's Facebook page so I could send her a friend request because I would love to learn more, and all that. And I'm trying to go around and find people on Facebook and add them to my Facebook account, and so that we can communicate more and all this, and because
I am not on Facebook nearly as much as I used to be.
well, good night, Jan. Merry Christmas and hugs.
Good night, Jan.
Oh, wait, she's not going to bed.
Hello,
She's in the
goodbye.
basement. Hang on, she's in the basement. I
Where?
misspoke. She says Merry Christmas. I'm in the basement. Simply Jan.
I'm in the basement. I don't see her.
Well, that's
I
what
had
she.
it. Oh, that's weird. Why am I not seeing her?
Uh-oh, somebody sent me someone. Someone. What in the world? Let's see. I'm gonna go here.
Okay, I don't see her. Why
Oh,
can't I see her?
okay.
It was me, I think.
Yes, ma'am.
I can see me.
I wasn't gonna say because I didn't know.
Jan, I can't see you. I don't know where the heck. I don't know where.
Well, I mean, I can go to
I
your
don't know
page, but
why.
it's not saying, it's not letting me add friend or whatever.
All right, let me look. And
I'm
see.
sorry, I'm technologically impaired.
Settings.
There we go. Let's see here now. YouTube's in the way. Get over here. Share.
Jan, I do not see you in the basement at all.
Report view.
I can't figure out where you are.
Or she may be really in her basement. I mean, I don't know.
Oh,
She says she's going to get
no,
back out
it's
and
just
try again.
okay. All right, now I found out where to find her.
Oh.
Try again. I think I changed my settings.
View profile.
Loose faucet. Come on back up, Jan.
Oh, I lost my chat box.
Now that I found where to find you.
Report. There it is. Okay. Sent you a request, ma'am.
Done. Ugh. Hi, Miss Tilly.
Hey, you accepted my friend request. I feel blessed and honored. Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome.
I don't remember. Did Rule say he was going to do a live on Wednesday or not? Do you remember? Because I know, or today actually. Today, hello. I'm sorry.
I don't know. Let me look.
I know that Trey is going to do one because we're just two wild and crazy guys. It's from a Saturday Night Live skit with.
He doesn't have one
Uh,
scheduled.
Okay.
What's his face?
This
Oh,
was from
geez.
6 days ago.
Not Chevy Chase.
No, I
Steve
can't
Martin.
remember either one of their names. What?
Steve Martin. Yes,
Steve Martin. Steve Martin and
Dan Aykroyd.
nope.
Yeah, it was Dan Aykroyd.
Was it Dan Aykroyd?
Yeah, it wasn't.
No,
It wasn't John Belushi.
no.
So it had to be Dan Aykroyd because those two guys were like they did all the movies together in the 80s.
Steve Martin. Yeah, maybe it was Dan Aykroyd.
Wasn't he in Ghostbusters?
Yeah,
I know he was
Dan
in
No,
Who
that
I
was
Shrunk the
Bill Murray.
Kids.
Not Steve. Well, Dan Aykroyd was, yes, but
Dan
not
Aykroyd, yeah.
not
Not Steve Martin.
Steve Martin. And Steve Martin
It
did
was
the movie The Jerk.
Dan Aykroyd and Bill Murray
Yeah.
and
I thought one of the funniest movies was Stripes with Bill Murray.
I never saw that one.
Oh, it was. I'm sitting here like, yeah, okay, this is not real. This is not the military I went in. But it was a comedy. It was funny. And all this talk about food, now I'm hungry because I haven't eaten dinner yet.
It's
So
almost
what's
time
for dinner?
breakfast.
What are we having for dinner?
I don't know what happened to Jan. All of a sudden she's gone and she said she was going to close it out and come back, but
She's good people, Miss Jan.
yes, she definitely is.
And Miss
But I don't
Rebecca.
know.
Oh man, it was like when she was opening that box that she got all that yarn in. I mean, did you see her? I mean, it was just like she lit up. It was
There
like,
was so much stuff in that box. It was
oh
crazy.
yeah, and it was just like,
Jan says, I'm here.
I didn't see that. I don't see her at all. No, that doesn't make any difference. It shouldn't make any difference because if
you can make me smaller. I don't mind. If I would have known it was going to be this fancy, I would have put on my nice, good shirt.
That's funny. I'm still in my work clothes.
Well, what you see is what you get. I mean, I wear my heart on my sleeve and give till it hurts, like because on Linder Mountain Homestead, their daughter Faith, who's going to have a baby, has picked out a stroller. Well, they were trying to raise money or to see if anybody would want to donate and all that. So I donated a bunch of super chats tonight or last night, and then I also did Venmo. I donated a bunch of money, what I could, if my power goes out, you know, I don't know. I didn't pay the bill.
This is really weird.
That's not funny. When you scroll across, people scroll down, Lori. She may be down some.
Well, the last thing I saw is that she was going to back out.
And come back
Yeah,
in.
and she hasn't typed anything since then.
Well, she may have gone for a tea or something. And
Oh, there she is. She says she's here.
where are you seeing that at? Oh, there. I see it. It's down there under Linda's oyster soup, Chris.
Yeah.
See, now I'm wanting.
Yeah.
I've got mushroom soup, chicken noodle, minestrone, but I don't have any oyster soup. Now I've got kippers. I've got fish.
I wanted to have chowder tonight, but we didn't have any fish.
Have
Well,
you ever
I've got
had
my,
lutefisk, Chris?
Pardon?
Lutefisk?
Oh,
Do you know what it is?
I have heard of it.
But
Yeah.
it's
I will
fish.
not eat.
It's fish that's been dried and then soaked in lye and then reconstituted. So it's like gelatin fish and it stinks.
Yeah. No thanks.
Yeah,
whole-
I've heard of it, but I don't think I want to eat it.
Did you see Trey's comment, Miss Lori?
I've tried it one
Oh,
time.
she
It's not
has.
good. There she is.
Hey!
Hi, Jen.
Merry Christmas!
Okay, hold on. I have to turn my phone down. Okay. Hi,
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
It's great to
I'm
see you, Miss
good.
Jen.
Yeah, I finally get to meet Chris.
Uh-oh, what the heck? Okay, that was weird.
Exit stage left.
I don't know. All of a sudden, my
Meet
screen went
Heather.
blank.
Well,
That
it's
was
my
weird.
magnetism.
Man, if I known Miss
Okay.
Jan was going to get on, I need to go change shirts now.
Nah, man, look at I'm in my hoodie,
We're
man.
not good enough to get dressed up for, but Jan, she's special.
No, I got my pajama bottoms on. I'm just saying.
Hey, so do I.
I got my hoodie, my long sleeve shirt, my turtleneck, my insulated shirt, my insulated legging, legs.
I got two long sleeve shirts under my sweater.
I'm a snowflake and I own it. I'm proud. I'm proud to say I am a snowflake. I don't care. What's funny is I was born and raised in Illinois, and but then my
You'd think you'd
parents
be.
they moved me to Florida and violated everything.
Yeah, and then you get spoiled by the warm.
Yeah, and then I moved to Texas for 45 years, so there's that.
Yeah, that'll add.
What part of Texas
Yep.
were you at, Miss Jan?
I was in Canyon Lake near San Antonio and New Braunfels.
Oh yeah, you were down there.
Yeah, I was between
Down
New
in the hut.
Braunfels, Canyon Lake was back behind New Braunfels by the
Yep.
Canyon Lake. Canyon Lake is drying up so bad right now. It's so sad. It's like I've never seen. They literally buried this old town to create this lake and build the dam, and it's so low right now. All the boat ramps are closed. Everything's closed. It's really. I've seen it low, but I've never seen it this low. Like you could maybe take a John boat in there. I don't know.
Wow.
Excuse me.
Hi, everyone in the chat. Merry Christmas. It's Christmas.
So, do you still have snow, Miss Jan?
Huh?
Do you still have snow?
What? Snow? What's that?
I thought you had snow up at your place.
No. Don't say the S word, Chris.
That's,
Do
yeah.
not fuss at me on Lori's live. This is a Christian live, and
It's like saying Beetlejuice.
no.
Well, I'm probably going to bounce off here pretty soon because I'm getting hungry, and I'm going to have to get something to eat.
Well, it
Oh,
was good seeing you, Chris.
Miss Jan, it's an honor to see you in person.
I can't wait to hug you.
I'm looking forward to it, ma'am.
Yep. And
And
there's
Heather,
my Heather. I've got my Heather here.
Your Heather?
Yeah, my Heather.
I think
Your
there's
Heather.
more than one of us, but okay.
There are so many
yeah,
Heathers.
I didn't realize there were so many.
There are.
What?
But there's not a lot of Jans. So
Nope.
well, my
There's
sister's
a
name is
heck of a
Carol
lot of
Jo.
lorries.
what's that?
I said there's a lot of lorries.
Lots of Lorries. Yes. And spelled all different ways.
I was
My best friend
was-
was always Lori. So I always tend to do that.
yeah, I was tempted to go back to my real name, and I figure at this point nobody's gonna know me if I did that,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
Laurie is just my nickname.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
It's short version of my real name, so my real name is Lorraine.
I was going to ask
Lorraine.
you that. My dad always called me Janice.
Oh, really?
I love that name. But
Yeah.
he only did it because my mom snuck on the birth certificate. She snuck and wrote Janice Marie, and my dad's sister I'm her namesake Marie, but I don't know where Janice came from. And my dad did not like the name Janice, so he'd just to get under my mom's skin, he'd call me Janice.
Janice.
Oh, I love that name. Why didn't you name me that? He goes, I'll call you whatever,
Well, just it doesn't have to be spelled the same as Janice. Janice. Is that how you spell it?
Well, Janice is, it could, in the old days, yes, that's how you spelt it. Or was Janice or Janice? But they would usually stick where the I was and the E for Janice. Janese. Now it's
Oh, really?
JE. Like one of my best friends, her name is Janice, but it's GE NESE, I think, something like
Yeah,
that.
see, yeah,
Yeah,
that could be.
yeah. And that's probably the proper spelling for it. So
Well, I'm going to give y'all a big hug.
love you,
Say y'all
Chris.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
And
Merry
ladies,
Christmas.
it's been an honor. And thank you, Miss Lori, for having me. And I look forward to
Thank you for
chatting
coming.
with y'all again. Miss Heather, if you need anything, give me a shout. Miss Jan, Merry Christmas to you, ma'am.
Merry
Christmas,
Christmas, my
And Merry
friend.
Christmas
Merry
to everyone in the
Christmas.
chat.
Happy Hanukkah.
Thank you so much.
Happy Hanukkah. Yes. Yes.
Thank you. All right. Have a good
Love
night,
you.
everyone.
Love you.
Good night.
Lori, I'm going to have to bow out gracefully as well. I just wanted to pop on and say, how I'm so excited for the growth of your channel and all that you're doing. And it's just been such a blessing to know you. And
Oh, thank you.
Heather as well.
I love you guys.
I love you.
I love you.
We do belong to like the greatest community of all times. I'm just
Absolutely.
I agree with that.
Absolutely.
yeah.
Yes.
If you need
The
to
people,
know something about something, there's someone who knows something about that something, you know?
yep. And
They-
it's easy to find somebody that can help, and they're willing to do it.
yeah,
You know,
and if
it's not like,
they don't know, they'll get you to someone who may
they'll-
know or someone who may know beyond that, you know? So
yep.
it's been
Yeah.
awesome. Okay, y'all,
Yeah.
I've got to go. Have a Merry Christmas, and I love you.
I love you too.
I
It's
Have a
gotta
after
great
one,
Christmas.
so I need to probably get off and head to bed anyway. I have to work in the
Say
morning
hello.
before I head over to
No.
Grandpa's for Christmas. So,
How do I get out of here?
upper
Up
right-hand
on the
corner,
Oh,
leave.
oh, wait, I see it. Leave. I love y'all. Merry
Good
Christmas.
night. Say Merry Christmas to Kevin too.
Thank you, sweetie. Good night.
Good night. So you're going to be heading out too? I'm probably, I should have been heading out an hour ago.
I think so. I have to get up
Guys,
and function
it's,
in the morning. So,
yeah, I know. Me too. I'm not going to make it. I'm probably going to be sleeping till noon.
oh no.
But that's okay. We have our Christmas dinner is always supper. So I'm not worried about that.
Boots is digging in a box. Cats and
All right.
cardboard.
Captain, cats love boxes. I don't understand why, but they do.
They really do.
It's their favorite toy. I mean, you can keep them happy for hours. Just put them in, just give them a box or a couple of boxes and they'll jump from one to the other.
That's terrible.
They'll keep themselves entertained. And then they'll go to sleep for a few hours and then come back and do the same thing.
Yeah, they haven't started zooming yet, which is what I was waiting for until I heard the box. So I'm assuming that that's probably what's starting, but
Yep. And they'll probably end up keeping you awake.
they do that too.
Well, it was nice of you to come up and visit.
Well, thanks for having me.
That's good. I will definitely have to check out your channel and find out what the heck is up, what you have on there about mining and stuff. That sounds pretty interesting.
There was a video, I think, that was something in the ballpark of Hibbing, the town that moved or something. I just kind of give a little bit of history of the open pit mine that is just north of town, and then kind of what the town looks like from the mine overview, and where the original town site was before they moved it.
Ah,
They
wow.
moved the town, I think, 2 miles south of where it originally was.
Where it used to be. Wow.
Mhm.
That's weird. That's interesting. I love history and learning about different places.
There's a lot of like mining locations and different towns that have been like swallowed up from the mines that aren't there anymore. Hibbing is really the only one that's either moved or that still exists, kind of to the extent of, being a city. A
Yeah.
lot of them are completely like they would decide that they wanted to mine in a new place and they would empty out the town and take the houses out and then they would start mining there.
Wow. I feel bad for the people that get displaced.
And all of their memories and stuff are underneath the
know.
mine. Yeah, it's
That's
how it
that's
works.
sad. Yeah, well, it reminds me of up here that there's an area in the middle of the state where they built a reservoir because Boston needed more water. So they took 7 towns and they emptied them out. They bought out the people's houses for squat and moved the people, told the people they had to move out, and they took the land by eminent domain,
Mhm.
and they built a huge reservoir
Hmm.
so it could give water to Boston, which is more than 60 miles or something away.
Okay.
7 towns. I mean, some of them were very big towns, and now they're all gone
Sounds kind
under
of
the
like
water.
what the money company does. There's like Elcor is over between Gilbert and Biwabic. It's just like on the northeast end of Gilbert, I guess, is where it would be. But they like it was there until the 70s, maybe. And then the mine took it over. And like you can still see where the streets are, and like you can see like the decorative trees and stuff that would be in people's yards, but it's mine now. So like there's no houses or anything.
There's one thing that they have that's near the edge of one of the. I think that's not the Quabbin. That's the Wachusett Reservoir. They did the same thing for that reservoir, and there's one corner where the water is just barely covering an old church, and all you can see is you can see the walls of the side walls, some of the side walls, and you can see the steeple
Oh, that's fascinating.
under the water. Yeah, it's weird. Anyway, you need to sleep. I need to sleep.
All right. Well, I will see you later. Have a Merry Christmas.
You too.
Eat some food and enjoy your family or wherever you're going to be tomorrow.
Yep, I'm going to be here with my husband and my 3 sons. We're going to have a big supper.
That sounds good. All right. I've got a
All right.
cat digging in a box, so I got to go see what they're doing. I have a feeling that I have a mess in my living room.
Probably.
So, yeah, I'll catch you on the next one, but thank you for having me.
Excellent. Thank you so much for coming up. It was nice to see you.
All right. Bye.
Bye. And thank you, everyone in chat. Thank you so much for coming. Joe, Linda, Jan, Trey, everybody else. Nana, everybody. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I needed to see some friends for Christmas Eve, and I really appreciate this. Thank you so much. And I'm going to be ending it right now because I need to sleep. Thank you very much. Good night, Joe. You too. Merry Christmas. Good night, Linda. Merry Christmas to you and your whole family, all of your families. God bless you all. Good night.